All right, you know what time it is again, folks. Welcome back for another exciting edition of Post to Post Wrestling, brought to you by the Brothers of the Discussion, as well as your boy Drummer John. We only got half the brothers this week so far. Hopefully Grayson's going to join us later. Will, what's going on, brother?
Being busy, man. Trying to catch up on wrestling, but, busy.
Nice. Well, at least you got a job, brother.
It's true.
We got another just awesome action-packed episode of Post to Post Wrestling because we have another. I can't believe people want to be guests on this fucking show. But we have another guest on this show. This week we have the Weatherman. You know him, you love him, you've seen him around, you've heard his spiel. Weatherman, what's going on, brother?
I don't know if any of you been around my ex-wife. Y'all probably hate me by now if you listen to her. But I'm here.
But yeah, if those of you, all, maybe 12 of you that listen on the regular from all over the world, may remember Weatherman was our first guest way back when.
Ooh, that was before my time.
I know.
That shows they didn't want me back. This was a last minute. Well, I guess we're going to go back to Weatherman.
I know personally, I didn't know much about you until Wes kept bringing you up. Wes loved talking about you. I can't tell you how many fucking times I heard the name Weatherman come out of his mouth.
And that man need to hang out again sometime if he's listening.
I motherfucker don't listen. He hates wrestling.
Oh, yeah, that is right. Oh, man. I wish I'd got Mad Reaper to talk about it last week before we talked so long he had to dip out because we ate up all his time. But for the contest, him and the other guy that puts on their show and that contest that they do for custom wrestling figures, they actually commissioned a legit title belt to be made for that competition, and the winner this time got it. It's a full-size title belt.
Nice.
It was fucking nice. It's very Lucha Underground inspired. It was a nice fucking belt when I saw the pictures of it. But I digress.
Speaking of Lucha, I'll go ahead and do a promotion here. There's a place in Jonesville, North Carolina, Margarita's Mexican Restaurant. The bar area. I told you about this, Will. Mm-hmm. They have AAA wrestling on 24/7 that they're open, and they have Lucha mask up all over the room, but they are always showing Lucha wrestling in the bar area. They're over there in Jonesville off of 67 next to the food line.
Oh, I know where you're talking about. Yes, next time I'm down, we'll have to go there. I'll make note of it. We will definitely have to make it over there. If anyone ever happens up to my end of things, there's a luchador themed burrito place called Sweeto Burrito.
Ooh.
And there's no actual tie-in with AAA or anything there, but all of their decor is luchador themed.
Well, theirs isn't tied in. They just have the AAA network or something, and it's just always playing AAA wrestling.
You said they had legit masks and stuff hanging up though.
Yeah, they had a Mil Mascaras mask. They had a Tiger mask.
Nice.
I can't remember. I think they had a Mysterio mask, an early Mysterio mask. I want to say they had Pegasus Kid, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, there you go.
I was looking at these are legit masks here. Mm-hmm. This isn't just your front of the mill. I went to Mexico and bought souvenirs.
Didn't you say something about they had an Ultimo Dragon too?
Yeah, they had an Ultimo Dragon mask.
Nice. Anytime Ultimo was involved, I'm for it.
All about that Dragon Sleeper. Which La Parka?
The original La Parka, not the.
The guy who just died, La Parka.
The LA Park. Because there was a trademark issue or something with that, but I digress.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
we all digress.
We'll not get into that. That's a strange thing. Before we get into it, the one thing I will say about anything lucha related is I feel like they dance between so many different promotions that every luchador has about 15 names that are all based around the same one. You've got Pentagon, you got Pentagon Jr., you got Pentagon 0M.
Pentagon Dark.
Yeah, it's just, they're all the same guy.
You got the Pentagon.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I love it, but it makes it really hard to keep track of sometimes if you don't follow it real closely. It's so hard. But, so, let's jump into
Talk some fucking wrestling. Yeah,
let's talk some wrestling.
Let's start off with WWE this week. WWE had their Payback pay-per-view on Sunday. We did some guessing on who's going to win what, but there were a lot of matches that we didn't know about because they didn't book until late last minute.
Yeah, we had three rumored. Which ones of those three rumored ones made it? We had Hardy and Styles, Big E and Sheamus, and then
that one made it.
That one made it?
Yeah.
And the other one...
the Styles and Jeff Hardy took place the night before, and Jeff won the belts. Oh wait, no. I stand corrected. That was 2 weeks before.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't use them. But we had Apollo versus Bobby. Oh, we had the kickoff with the Riot Squad versus the Iconics in just a regular old match. We won't talk about the Monday match yet. Big E and Sheamus, Corbin and Riddle, Golden Role Models versus Shayna and Nia Jax, Keith Lee versus Randy Orton, and we can talk about how WWE is fucking up Keith Lee when we talk about that match.
Yep.
Seth Rollins and Murphy versus Ray and Dominic.
We don't have that one on our list.
Okay.
Because I think that was the last late announcement.
Yeah, and then The Fiend versus Roman versus Bray for
Braun.
Braun, for the SmackDown title.
Yep. So, first, Big E and Sheamus. We all guessed that it was going to be Big E. Were we correct?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
It was a destruction, wasn't it?
It was a what?
A destruction.
It was a destruction of squash.
Yeah, it was pretty much a squash match. I mean, he beat him up pretty good. They're pushing Big E to the moon.
The downside, and I've seen it already online, and it's one of the best memes I have seen in a while in terms of wrestling. It was a picture of Roman Reigns, and all it said was, "There goes Big E's push."
That's funny.
I mean, am I wrong? I mean, I want Big E pushed more than I want fucking Roman pushed. I think Big E has more potential, and he's much more entertaining.
Yeah, he's definitely entertaining, but I mean, how far were they going to push Big E? Were they going to push him to the Intercontinental strap? Were they going to push him to the world title? Like, there wasn't a whole lot of talk about where they were trying to push him to. They just keep talking about pushing him.
I think he could have gotten all the way up to the main title picture. I really do, because I feel like, honestly, as much as it's a giant draw money-wise, the New Day needs to dissolve and be done.
It's run its course.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with all my fucking New Day shirts, my 2 unicorn horns, and my New Day socks if they fucking break up, dude? That's not cool.
You put them on eBay and you make a shitload of money.
Nobody wants to wear my stinking ass clothes.
And there are plenty of uses for unicorn horns.
Oh, we won't go into that. This isn't that kind of show. That's for post to post after hours, John's private show.
Yeah, that's my private show. That's where we talk about all the videos of the wrestlers. Oh, man.
Oh,
Now I'm going to start another fucking podcast. Thanks, Will.
But it sounded so good.
But yeah, Big E, I mean, yeah, I hope that Roman Reigns showing back up is not going to be the end of his push, because it's entertaining, it's fun. It sucks for Kofi, because Kofi is not injured. They're just saying he's injured to give him a 6th run.
It's a push that's 8 years too late. If they were going to push Big E, they should have pushed him when he was with AJ. When he was
AJ and Dolph Ziggler.
When he was that badass single bodyguard that came in and just destroyed everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They are quite a few years late pushing Big E. You are correct. Next one I've got is, and I'm not sure if it's chronologically in the right position, but I've got Corbin and Riddle.
Yeah, Corbin and Riddle. I love the way this match started, because you know how Riddle jumps into the ring and then flips off his flip-flops?
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as the flip-flops were off his feet, Corbin just fucking drills him. Just lays him the fuck out. It was awesome. They took a little bit of Riddle's personal life and put it in the storyline, because Corbin was calling him a failure and all kinds of stuff, and he also said, you're a failure to your family, based on the whole him cheating on his wife angle and shit. I was like, ooh, they really went there.
Been there.
Mm.
You know, one thing I know, I can only relate to this match. Baron Corbin cooks a mean steak. I can follow him on Twitter, and he cooks some mean steaks. That's about all I got.
I mean, that's honestly, here's the short up. Fuck Baron Corbin. I'm glad he lost.
I am a fan of Baron Corbin. When I was in the Thunderdome, the first shirt I was wearing was a Baron Corbin shirt. An older shirt when he was the Lone Wolf, not the King Corbin thing. I've been a fan of his for a while.
I don't like King Corbin. I hated Constable Corbin. If they just left him as Baron Corbin, like, he had a good theme, and he has tons of potential. I wish they would have kept his hair long. I don't like him bald.
I like him better bald.
If they were going to cut his hair, they should have done it in a hair versus hair match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they had much choice, man. That hairline was just taking off on him.
Yeah, it was. It hung on. It didn't hang on as long as Hogan tried to hang on. It still hangs on. But
do they make him wear a shirt because of his tattoos?
I don't know the reasons why, but yeah, he's still rocking those new tank tops with the wide straps. Now he's got them.
Well, at least he went from when he was Constable Corbin. I was calling him JC Belk.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Isn't that a store where you buy clothes, a clothing store or some shit?
Belk and J.C. Penney's.
Combination of two.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
Yep. Hit them both. That's where, if you were poor growing up where we did, that's where you went to do your fancy shopping or your once a year back to school.
We didn't get a Kohl's until 2000. What, 4-wheel?
It was like 2000. I think it was actually like 2002 or 3, like late 2002 though.
I don't think that's going to be the end of the Riddle Corbin storyline, because after the match they were interviewing Riddle and Corbin attacked him, beat shit at him.
Good.
Yeah, until he's pulled the
Corbin needs work, and Matt Riddle will carry him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cheaters.
Say what?
Cheaters never win.
Oh boy.
What match you got next?
I've got Orton and Keith Lee.
Orton versus Keith Lee. All right, so let's talk about Keith Lee. He comes out WWE. His first match, fucking loses via disqualification or whatever because Drew McIntyre gets involved. They change his fucking music up. They change the way he fucking looks with his outfit. They put him in gym shorts and a friggin' shirt.
And then May gave him this proper voice too, that just does not sound menacing for a big man.
No, it's just they're ruining him, but they're listening because he's not wearing the gym shorts anymore. He's got the booty shorts again, the tighties, but he's wearing a tight t-shirt up top. It's not a tank top, but it doesn't have sleeves. So
he's got like He's got like an A shirt on, is what you're saying.
Not even an A shirt. It's just a sleeveless, tight T-shirt.
Okay.
Because
And we all know
the neck goes all the way up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
And
it's
this
on an
is all
shirt.
Vince. It's all Vince doing that.
Absolutely. Vince doesn't want to see his stomach, doesn't want to see his gut. He's making him cover it up. They did work on his music, thank God. So they gave him a mixture of his old music and new music to go along with it, because it had the basket as glory, that whole part where he's, because I am limitless. They put that back on, and then they went from there. So, I mean, they're listening.
In the music, it still ain't great.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
But they're at least listening. They're hearing what the fans have to say, and they're...
Well, hopefully they hear that the fans want to see Keith Lee actually do some work. I mean, I'm glad at least they heard it a little bit, because like we said last week, Keith Lee had everything to gain, and, you know, Randy Orton had nothing to lose by taking the L last week.
Mm-hmm.
And
He beat him clean. Keith Lee beat him hella clean at the pay-per-view.
But not to jump the gun to Monday, but it meant nothing after Monday.
Yeah.
It meant nothing.
Yep. But hopefully they keep working on that and get him back to where he was with NXT, because he was awesome in NXT. I liked everything about him, from his music to his outfit to his...
If I'm Adam Cole, I'm watching this, and I'm going, please don't call me up. Please don't call me up. Please don't call me up.
Yeah. If you're going to shit on me like you shit on him, don't do
I just wish that they could be like, you know, I don't want to. And just stay put.
There's a very important point that I heard that makes a lot of sense. NXT is now on the USA Network. So these guys are getting seen to a national audience. There is no excuse for changing these characters when they go from this show to the big show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because they're already being seen by that national audience. It's not like when they were just on the network and only whatever network subscribers watched NXT whenever saw them. You know, everybody's familiar with who Keith Lee was, and now we're going to bring him to Raw. Now we have to change everything about him. No, you can take that same guy and just put him on this show.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's got enough exposure from being on NXT that they don't need to do him. They don't need a repackage or rebranding or anything. We know who the hell he is. We like him. That's why you're bringing him up to the main roster. So don't fuck with him.
And if we didn't know him enough, we saw him in the freaking Rumble.
Yep.
you had 100,000 people chanting basking in his glory at the freaking Royal Rumble. And don't even get me started on how they dropped the ball with that between him and Lesnar. That was something that could have been a big moment, and they dropped the ball on that too.
I had my say on the fucking Royal Rumble from this year way back. Oh yes. Oh yes. I fucking hated the Lesnar-thon. Fucking hated it. But when he finally got eliminated, I was like, it's about fucking time. But it was about 15 people too late.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk a little bit more about Brock Lesnar when we get more into meat and potatoes of WWE, because there's some shit going on with him too. But Keith Lee picked up the win on that one. What you got next?
Lashley and Cruz.
Lashley and Cruz. Lashley walks away with the U.S. title.
That's good.
So the Hurt Business is picking up business.
Why Bobby Lashley? Why Lashley not in the title picture? I do not understand. He is better than this mid-card mess they got him in.
It's true. It's true. The main thing is I'm glad that they're finally pushing this like stable they're building a little bit, but they've been fucking around for so long.
Yeah, and they're pushing the feud between Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Apollo Crews versus them. Instead of having all six of them friggin', fighting against each other, man, turn them into one stable. Even if it's the Hurt Business, put all them brothers together and let them pull a nation angle, not necessarily like the Nation did, but just have these brothers running roughshod But instead of doing that, they're bringing in retribution.
Let's hear.
Here's my problem with this. MVP does not need to be wrestling. He needs to be in a suit and be the voice box for the group.
I could get behind that, really.
I don't agree.
Let's throw him a bone. Let's give him some special matches every now and then.
Not
regular.
Only when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Have him be he don't have to be. He can be their manager. He can be their agent. Whatever you want to call it. Because MVP, he'll probably be an agent for the Hurt Business, or the CEO of the Hurt Business. Will put it to you that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because MVP's good. The MVP's better on the mic than Shelton and.
He's better on the mic than that whole damn stable combined.
But I like MVP as a wrestler. I enjoy MVP as a wrestler. You know what he's going to do. You know what moves he's going to do. I dig him. He's a solid worker. He's past the prime of his career, but he adds a lot.
I'm not talking crap about his wrestling. I'm just saying with that group, you got the big muscular guy in Lashley, the powerhouse. You got the athlete in Benjamin. He's not really needed physically with that group.
Mm-hmm.
He need to be out there on the outside to screw somebody over to make sure that they win.
Mm-hmm.
And to run that mouth.
Run that mouth. Run it.
Because as we know, Lashley's not a good promo. Benjamin can be.
Mm-hmm.
It's hit or miss. But MVP, you can be guaranteed.
Deep-ass voice.
MVP every night, is going to deliver and he's going to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
We saw, after the match, Apollo Crews attack Bobby Lashley. So again, this storyline is not over either. It's still coming along. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? Apollo wins the title from Lashley and then loses it to Benjamin. And that way, everyone in the Hurt Business has had their hands on this new title. But I don't think they're going to take it off Lashley anytime soon. They need to keep it on him to legitimize the Hurt Business. They need to have a title on somebody to make that stable work.
Mm-hmm.
I will say as much. You talked about Nation 2.0. If they really want to push that angle, you bring in Farouk and Mark Henry together. You don't have to have The Rock, because The Rock was that more... It wasn't what we're getting at with this top nation. Farouk and Mark Henry be the two that come out in the black. Farouk cut one of them promos like he used to cut in the 90s. And rally all them guys together, and you got your Nation 2.0. There's your...
The downside is just, what was that, 3 weeks ago now?
Mm-hmm.
That was on the docket. They had most
That's what they were going to do. They had both of them.
Yeah.
They had Mark Henry and they had Ron Simmons there. They were going to pull the trigger on it, and then last second, Vinnie Mac changed his mind because he said it was too much of a hot topic item. With race and everything, what's going on in the country. So they didn't pull the trigger on it.
We all know Ron Simmons can cut that promo and sell it.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did it already. And he didn't have 50,000 riders doing it for him.
No.
Yep.
I mean, those old Nation promos before... Well, even when The Rock was with him, I was a fan of the Nation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, I hated him, but I loved to hate him.
Absolutely.
They had that special heel something, that stable that you want to have.
It felt like you believed what he was saying.
Yeah.
In 1997, 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And The Rock, when he first turned, The Rock, that's what made him. Die, Rocky, die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Rock. It's crazy to think of how much people fucking hated him when he first showed up on the scene. Oh, man.
That's a real keeper right there, I tell you what. Look at him.
I liked him when he first came, and I think, let's see, it was like hot on the heels of Farouk being Farouk Assad.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when Wasn't Sonny his valet as well?
That was Farouk, yeah.
Okay, yep.
I think that was right when Candido went back to ECW.
When who?
When Candido had went to ECW and the Bobby Donnas had broke up.
Yes. Yeah, it's been... it was a strange time period. I mean, think about anyone that just picked up on modern wrestling, they know who The Rock is now. I'm just like, did you know that people fucking hated The Rock when he first came out? They're like, what? Yes.
They hated him as a babyface. They took him as a heel to get over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Foot Rock was great.
Say what?
Foot Rock was great.
Yeah.
He turned again. Hell, he got his own pay-per-view named after him.
Hell, he got his own like promotion named after his catchphrase. Fuck.
SmackDown. And Jabroni made it into the friggin' dictionary.
I know. The Sheik coined it, right? And The Rock made it famous.
We talked about Apollo and Lashley. What else do we have on the docket?
We've got the end of Dose Belts.
Yeah! Oh, man, they are playing up Sasha versus Bayley so freaking hard now. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax went and took the belts off of them to... and the finisher was crazy. Shayna Baszler was choking out Bayley with Sasha Banks' arm. and Bayley winds up tapping. So Sasha is not very happy with her now that she doesn't have any belts at all. And like last night on Raw, they showed up and Sasha was eyeballing her SmackDown title hella hard.
No belt Banks. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Okay, now catch me up here with Baszler. Is she a babyface now?
No. She is
Okay.
Again, another anti-hero. Same with Nia Jax. Nia Jax is a heel, straight up heel. Shayna Baszler is neither here nor there.
Now, both of her faction hordes are on the main roster too, so why are they not with her instead of... Where does this Nia Jax partnership come along?
They're not on the main roster exactly. You're talking about Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. They're not on the main roster, but they did show up in Raw Underground last night.
That's where I saw them. And I thought I'd see them together with Baszler too on the main Raw, on one of the Raws.
No.
A while back.
They actually had to redo their stuff, and I'm jumping the gun here talking about Raw, but they each had individual fights in Raw Underground, and then they wind up having to re-record it because they wanted to put the Iconics in an angle there, and they needed to write Billy Kay off of TV. So Jessamine Duke knocked the shit out of her with a kick, kicked her right behind the ear and put her down. But again, I'm jumping the gun on that. I'll explain more about it later for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Okay.
But yeah, we got new women's tag team champions in Nia and Shayna, and honestly, I hope it doesn't last very long because there are other teams I'd like to see with those belts. The Riot Squad is back together. I'm loving what they're doing. I'd like to see them with some gold.
Mm-hmm. All I can say is I'm ready for them to just figure out something new to do with Bayley and Sasha because they keep doing the same shit over and over.
They're friends. They are rivals. They're friends, rivals. And they're leading to another rivalry. No doubt. Sasha's already said it wasn't me who tapped out. Why did I, lose my belt and blah blah blah, and being silly.
Well, because you're a tag team.
Exactly, you're in a tag team.
That is what it is. And then the last one I've got is the big one. And that match being the return of the official in-ring return of the big dog. It's The Fiend, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman. Triple threat for the belt.
So they are building on this Roman Reigns heel character like awesome. He's tweeting out it's about time, all this shit. So the match starts, and Roman Reigns doesn't come out. Like, he still hasn't signed his contract for the fight or anything like that. You got, you got the Fiend and Braun Strowman going at it in the ring. They pull a Big Show Brock Lesnar move and break the friggin' ring. Little Nate Charles Robinson falls out of the ring. It was hysterical. But eventually, when they beat each other down hella hard, then Roman comes out. Paul Heyman's with him at the top of the ramp. He signs the contract. Paul Heyman goes back to the back, and Roman Reigns comes in and does what he does and wins the belt. But like that was brilliant booking to just cement him as a heel. Not just putting him with Heyman, who apparently is getting paid like a top guy in WWE, but just friggin' have him come out late and then win and then leave. It was beautiful.
Well, then Heyman can take credit too for being the guy who told him, "Hey, wait till the last minute."
Mm-hmm. Yep. The thing is, the only way Roman's going to get over its heel is with Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Heyman's the only reason Brock Lesnar has a fucking career.
Being his mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Well, look at it this way: Roman ain't got to talk.
Nope. It's true, but Roman is definitely going to talk more than Brock did.
Yes, he is. Absolutely.
And every time Roman talks, you're going to see his popularity take a little bit of a dip.
But
well, at least Roman will be there more than once a quarter.
I will give you that.
Yeah. We're talking about Brock Lesnar, so let me bring this around. Since we brought him up a couple times,
exactly
Brock Lesnar is no longer a WWE employee. He is a free agent.
Please, no one hire him.
Well, here's a good thing. I want everybody needs to listen to this. Hunting season is coming. Brock lives in Canada. Hunting season is coming. Brock ain't doing shit till hunting season's over.
It was another situation where WWE Shop Zone kind of spilled the beans on this one because they had to pull all of Brock Lesnar's merchandise. They had to pull every bit of it. They are no longer selling Brock Lesnar's merchandise. They're not advertising selling it, and they've got a lot of it apparently left over.
So here's my thing. Someone one day will get some fan interaction, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there now. If someone out of all of our listeners needs to go ahead and make a meme that is basically an old dirt sheet cover, but it's the WWE shop. Because now they're apparently the ultimate spoiler dirt sheet.
Yeah. They spoiled Karrion Kross's title win. He'll be back. He's just waiting on the next big payday for when Vince McMahon needs him or somebody else gives him a good enough offer. But that's what it's always been about with him, and it's always going to be
runs
about.
Out of arrows and ammunition.
Yeah, it's a payday. Mm-hmm. So he's waiting on the next big payday. And you know what? Good for him. Because if I could get that kind of money when I felt like working, shit, done deal.
I mean, I'd like to work just one day a quarter and sit around and eat Jimmy John's all day.
Mm-hmm. $250,000. You can show up on Monday Night Raw. $250,000.
Where my money, McMahon?
So Roman Reigns takes the win. Braun Strowman takes the pin. Because they're still setting up the Fiend and Roman Reigns. Fiend's going to be a babyface. Alexa Bliss will be with him. It is just a matter of time. She showed up again on Payback with two braids in her hair, 2 dreadlocks, whereas she only had one on SmackDown. So she's a change.
And she pretty much ended the thing with Nikki Cross, and now she's going to have nothing to do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, poor Nikki.
And they're going to have the whole Harley list back again. It looks like.
Something's going to happen. I'm hoping that, they don't run the usual WWE track record and just fuck it up. They've got potential for some really good ideas and good things to happen from this if they do it right. But they won't.
I smell a DC lawsuit.
Yeah.
A couple matches that were on that we didn't mention: Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Murphy.
And they got the win.
Seth Rollins, Ray, and Dominic got the win on that one. It wasn't over there because on Monday Night Raw, it was supposed to be Ray versus Seth Rollins for a qualifying match for number one contendership. Rey Mysterio has a torn tricep and did not compete. His son took his spot, Dominic versus Seth Rollins.
Legit or
Yeah.
So they I'm telling you, man, somebody in WWE is listening to our fucking show. Because what did we say when we first saw Dominic? What was the one piece of advice, the first piece of advice we had for him? It was get rid of that fucking hood.
Yeah. And he got rid of the
What did they do? They got rid of the fucking hood. The show, the next time that you saw him after our podcast, that motherfucker had that hood gone. So, Vinnie Mac, eventually these freebies are going to run out. We're going to need to start getting paid eventually.
Catch me up. How is Dominic in the ring? Green.
He's definitely green. He's hella green. He's a big kid trying to be a lucha, but he's not bad. And
he's good.
He
green.
could take a bump, man. He could take some serious bumps. Like, he's got his dad's pain tolerance.
So what we're saying is he needs to look more of that Eddie Guerrero style instead of Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Yes.
Even does the frog splash and everything. But he's got a 619 that he doesn't there too.
You know.
And you know why he has to do this? Because that's who his real poppy is.
I was about to say that. You're stealing my thunder, you son of a bitch.
they on Monday Night Raw, they actually had the whole family out. They had the wife Angie, and then they had the daughter Aaliyah, who we haven't seen since that friggin' Who's the Poppy angle with Dominic. So it was pretty funny to see that. She has grown up quite a bit. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then the other match that we had was the Iconics versus the Riot Squad. Riot Squad came out rocking some new gear that matched. I like that they're keeping Liv Morgan with her new look, but they're meshing it with rubies by giving her, plaid stuff in her outfit. And then they each got an individual jacket where Liv says Liv to Riot, and then Ruby says Riot to Liv. So I like what they're doing with them. I like how they're bringing them back together. They made you think that maybe there's something going on, but there's not. It was cool. I dug it. They wound up winning that match. The Riot Squad won. They announced that they were officially back together, and that led us to Monday Night Raw, where we had a rematch with the Iconics and the Riot Squad. The winner of that match gets a tag team title match. The loser of that match can no longer be a tag team. And because of this, the Iconics are no more.
Well, I mean, we kind of saw the writing on the wall for that one anyway.
Well, we saw it a long time ago when Billy Kay slapped Peyton, but I don't know. I mean, they were catching momentum again. They're doing good. Apparently, with this one here, Vinnie Mac is high on Peyton Royce, sees her as a future star in the singles division. So they broke up the tag team, and then they wrote Billy Kay off TV by having her head kicked off by Jessamine Duke in Raw Underground. And the way that they did it, Peyton kind of like threw her onto the mat, making her think that they were both going to get up there. And Peyton Royce turns around at the last second and kind of looks away. And then Marina and Jessamine beat shit out of her and knock her head off. So we're probably not going to see her again for a while, and I wouldn't be surprised if she changes brands.
I'd see that as the best way to kind of
Separate 'em.
solidify that dissolution is send her off to a new brand. But other news, if we haven't already said it, NXT UK is coming back. I feel like we may have touched on it last week, but more official than official. It's coming back.
Yep.
And
September 27th or something like that. I think was the
soon,
date.
within a month.
Yes.
And then most importantly, and bringing much sadness to John, Mauro Ranallo is no longer with the WWE.
Thank God!
John is so sad.
Fuck that motherfucker. Mamma mia! He's fucking out of there.
John had to sit and cry in his car the other day. He texted me, he told me, he was sitting there, he was distraught.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, Grayson!
What up?
That was Alex who said hello.
I know, but we saw you too. I was like, what's up?
I've been here for a minute. Just to add, Billy Kay is the Cameron to Peyton's Naomi.
Yeah,
Here it is.
I can see that.
That's what I was going to say in this whole deal is how long is it going to be for Billy Kay's release.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow.
Nah, I hope she sticks around.
I hope she's gone forever. I hate her fucking shrill shriek. That's the only thing she has going for her, and it's not even working.
Was she the one Meltzer called fat?
Called her what?
Was she the one Meltzer called fat and started that big uproar? This has been about a year or two ago.
I think. But then again, Meltzer's a jackass, so...
Yeah, fuck him. She is not fat.
No, she's not fat. She's just sucks. That's really it. I don't even have it. I can't even, make fun of her because I just hate her. That's all it is. It's just pure hate, vitriol.
I would like to see her either move over to SmackDown or move over to NXT and put her in like an evil queen kind of role. I could see her pulling something like that off. Like, the evil queen type shit.
Just let her be a manager, I guess. At best. Move Vega
really
to
tall,
active wrestler and put her as a manager.
Yeah.
Do that. That'd be better.
I think that's the problem with her as a manager is because she's too tall.
Oh, yeah. You can't have a manager that's taller than the talent.
Yeah, she's all legs. So, when we were talking about Brock Lesnar and his contract expiring and everything, I got some interesting numbers about Brock Lesnar. So, he's had a 19-year career. Over the span of 19 years, he has had 419 matches between house shows, live shows, New Japan, fucking everywhere that he's been. 419 matches. In singles matches, he has only had 22 losses.
Rico.
Oh my god.
Rico is one of them, yes.
Yeah, he lost to Rico.
His first loss was to a wrestler called Leviathan. You guys know him as Batista.
Yeah.
Yep. But, they actually compiled the list of all his losses. Like, mathematically, he's got a 72% winning average. And he's lost 25% of his matches. And the majority of them were early in his career when he was in tag team matches. But there's only 22 men who could say they've beaten Brock Lesnar in a one-on-one. Rico.
Rico. Can I say one thing about Rico? Rico, I watched some of his OVW stuff. Rico was a big thing coming out of OVW. He went to the main roster. Vince thought he was too old to push. And that's why he ended up like he did. But he was one of the best workers in OVW.
So he became, I guess, the manager to the Billy and Chuck thing.
Yep. He got stuck with the Billy and Chuck manager.
Yep.
He was one of the, he was in from what I've listened to and heard about, from Cornette talking about him, and where Danny Davis, Rico was on that John Cena level coming out of WWE. He was one of their top stars. And WWE buried him just because he was too old.
That sounds like classic WWE.
That sounds like Vince, exactly.
All I'm going to say is Chris Benoit got to win.
Yep. You'll never see that one.
No, you will not.
And then and Kurt Angle got him in New Japan.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Downside is Brock still got that belt in New Japan. He's on the list of IWGP title holders, and that makes me sad.
I'll give you the list right now of all 22: Leviathan, Rico, Canyon, Billy Gunn. Yes, Chris Canyon. Billy Gunn, Albert, Lance Storm, Hugh Morris, Mr. Perfect, RVD, The Big Show. They canceled The Big Show, by the way, on Netflix.
Yeah, one season, one and done. Good. Yeah. They do have a holiday episode coming, though. Yes. They do have a Christmas episode, yeah.
The Rock, Spanky. Who the fuck is Spanky?
That guy from the Little Rascals, man.
Zach Gallen, the one-legged wrestler.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was it was Brian Kendrick.
That's right. That's who Spanky was, Brian Kendrick. Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Triple H, John Cena, Undertaker, Goldberg, Reigns, Rollins, McIntyre.
And Jim Cornette threatened to shoot him.
Wish he had.
Forget about that. In OVW.
And he drinks Coors Light because Bud Light doesn't pay him anything.
That was funny. R-Truth is now the 39-time 24/7 champion. So he took the belt back again on Monday Night Raw. If you guys haven't checked out the R-Truth show on WWE Network, give it a look. It's actually pretty entertaining. He's kind of funny. He makes the wrestlers who come on the show answer trivia questions and do scavenger hunts around their house and just stuff like that. It's pretty funny. It's pretty cool.
Excellent.
If R-Truth gets 50 titles against the 24/7 50-time champion, is there going to be a T-shirt?
Oh God,
there's got to be.
Or will they even think about it?
Will they? Who was who held the hardcore title the most when it was constantly changing hands? And how many was it?
Crash Holly.
Crash Holly.
How many times?
Well, we're looking it up.
I thought Raven has the most reigns as champion with 27.
Really?
Does
because there for a while Crash was winning it every week.
Yeah, Raven has 27. Who was it? Steve Blackman has the combined reigns by length at 172 days with only 6 reigns.
That's a pretty solid factoid because, I mean, he definitely was during the 24-hour-a-day thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all seen Steve Blackman from the 80s?
I have not.
Has the most for 27.
He was jacked. Like, compared to the way he looked when he came in 97, he was like WBF bodybuilder jacked.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, I already thought he was fucking big and scary, but fuck. To say he was that big in the 80s? Damn. I am thoroughly glad that I was not of an age to get on his bad side.
Well, he has a bail bond company, so don't run from the law.
No, fuck no.
Okay, so Crash Holly had like a shit ton of fucking title reigns. He was at like number... Where are you, Crash? He was at number 14 when Raven hit number 4. And then Raven got to, how many was it? 17? Raven hit 17, and then Crash Holly got his 15th. So Raven got
I don't
13
remember
titles
Raven
before
having that
Crash
long.
got one, and that's when he took off and started just getting it.
Yeah. Crash had a total of 22. Raven had 27. Stevie Richards had 21. Sean Stasiak had 15. Tommy Dreamer 14. Bradshaw had 18. So those are your top guys. Tommy Dreamer had 14. Bubba Ray had 10. Goldust had 9. Spike Dudley, Just Incredible had 8 apiece. So
I don't remember Raven having it that many times, to be honest with you. I mean, I ain't saying I believe it's fact, but I just cannot remember. I remember seeing Raven with a belt that many times.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could have been, that he lost it in like a night, and then he wins it back the next, just like the 24/7.
Well, he had it for a total of 27 times for a combined total days, 84.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the math. His average reign is three fucking
3
days.
to 4 days. Yeah, 3 to 4 days.
That makes sense then.
Yeah.
I would have expected that belt, given the time frame, someone like when it was in its heyday, to have had someone who had more than like 50 times getting it. But then again, hardcore was a lot more of a big draw back then, so you had a lot more people competing for that one belt, and compared to the 24/7 title, which is basic.
Now that I remember, Crash got away a lot too.
Yeah, he would run a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A former hardcore champion, Road Dogg, we're sad to say that his father, Bullet Barb Armstrong, passed away this week. I want to send our condolences out to the family.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet Bob Armstrong. Yeah, that sucked.
One of the best wrestling families, one of the top best wrestling families in the business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Former commissioner or president of Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
I remember when Brad passed away. That was pretty rough too, because Brad was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Brad was one of the best workers at his time. But he went underutilized in WCW.
Well, who didn't go underutilized in WCW? But what time frame did he go underutilized? Was it the height of NWO, or was it before that?
It was 95, 96, I think.
Okay,
he may have went in the early 97.
Okay, so just at the cusp of that shit taking off. So it was just getting ready to happen.
He was predominantly the first hour of Nitro, Worldwide, and Pro.
Okay, so he was suffering from, hey, we just brought in Savage and Hogan and all these other big names from WWF, so let's go ahead and push them because they cost us money.
There was still a TV
96 to 2000 was when he was in his heyday in WCW. He challenged Dean Malenko for the WCW World Cruiserweight Championship match. He was on the New Japan Pro Wrestling Tour in 96. Armstrong Curse. I remember that. And then he was BA as part of the No Limit Soldiers stable.
Oh, God. I remember the No Limit Soldiers stable. Jesus.
Master P.
Silk Shaka?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
Oh, man. I'll give WCW credit where credit's due. They could make a terrible crossover and somehow get it halfway over. I mean, shit.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 more WWE points, and then we'll move on. Retribution is officially on Raw. They haven't announced any of the people in Retribution. Don't know if they're going to. We saw some different eyes this week on Raw. They didn't use them at Payback at all because they said it wouldn't fit the storyline. But it looked like Mercedes Martinez might have been a member of it as well. You know, her eyes are very
they stand out, and they showed eyes on a Retribution member that looked much like her. So maybe not. We'll see where that storyline goes. And then lastly, AJ Styles and Finn Balor want to form a stable together.
Oh.
Dude, how fucking good. Both of them have commented on this. AJ says he will move down to NXT to start a stable with Finn Balor.
Do it.
Hell yeah, I'm all for it, man.
Do it. Just, if they do it, try not to play off the Bullet Club angle.
I think they should.
It's been tried with both of them more than once, and it has not gone over very well.
That's because they didn't push them at all. They put friggin' AJ with the Good Brothers as the club, and they didn't do dick with them.
And they were on the main roster, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there was so much they could have done.
They might be able to, but they're going to have to give it something to where it just doesn't feel like they're trying to ride the club coattails. You can do enough of that just by having those two names in there. You don't need to have anything else.
If you would have booked it in NXT, had them as baby faces, Gallows, Anderson, Balor, and AJ jumped the Undisputed Era when they were in their top stage of heel form when they had all the belts. There it was.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
That would have been so fucking sweet.
And then I would have even gone so far as on down the line, them being able to get Adam Cole over too, and then you would have had even more Bullet Club in this faux Bullet Club.
Well, then you could also later on have the dissension because they didn't have a challenge for leadership between AJ and Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Or they do a stable with Cole, Balor, and AJ. And have some fucking name like the ex-presidents or some fucking shit like that.
It could be something.
That'd be cool.
Or you just have the club and the damn Undisputed Era join together and just take out the whole main roster for Survivor Series.
Yeah. That would be hella good.
And it's an old school Survivor Series match.
Because two of them are now released and doing backyard pay-per-views, which was actually pretty funny from when I saw it.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, the Shopomania, whatever the hell it was called.
It seemed
they're over on Impact now.
Yeah. And with that, let's go ahead and use that as our segue to not get lost in the world of WWE. So, let's see, Impact.
Spoiler, Eric Young is now the new World Heavyweight Champion over at Impact.
Oh,
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Good. I'm watching the show right now on my DVR, but it just popped up on my spoilers.
Getting all these snub talents from WWE, finally getting a fucking rub somewhere. Good.
So that...
Let me still.
Yeah, he did definitely start in TNA.
It's still yet. When he went to WWE, what'd he get? He got snubbed.
He had a really awesome stable of Sanity.
Sanity was good.
Sanity was good. They just didn't do much. Once they came to the main roster, they didn't do shit with them. And that's what it was.
They didn't bring
they
them
were
all.
Great in
That's
NXT.
the problem. They didn't bring us.
No, they brought everyone except for Nikki Cross at first.
But that was the thing. She was kind of the heartbeat of that group as their own because she was the crazy one that ran around the whole time. Because you always had Eric like holding her on a leash.
Yep. But with that being said, October 24th is Bound for Glory. Card subject to change because they were talking about Eddie Edwards and Ken Shamrock having a match for the Impact World title. They may still have a match, but it's not going to be for the world title. There's talk of Rich Swann versus Eric Young. Storyline on that. Eric Young came out, attacked Rich Swann, forced him to retire. So we'll see where that goes now that we know that Eric Young is the new champion. Impact tag team titles. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus the Motor City Machine Guns.
Guns.
Yeah, the Machine Guns, the North, and the Good Brothers. So 4-way match there.
Damn. I got to switch it over to Good Brothers then, because I got to be Bullet Club for life, even though they're not officially, in there. Still got to do it.
That would be a good spot for them to take the belts if they, pin Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, who they're feuding with right now. Doesn't make the Machine Guns look weak because they didn't lose it. They didn't get pinned. But if they really want to put their money behind their investment in the Good Brothers, that'd be a great opportunity to belt them.
Sure.
Deonna Purrazzo is expected to face Kylie Ray. They're talking about a 6-man tag team or a 6-man match for the X Division title, and then there's going to be a Call Your Shot Rumble. So none of that is confirmed other than the date. This is just what we're working with right now.
Okay.
Works out. Why did Kylie Ray leave AEW? Did they ever say?
I don't know.
No, they never really said. It was just like we had a mutual agreement, and we released her from her contract. I think Kylie just wanted to leave. There was a rumor that she was bullied in the locker room. Randy, now take that with a grain of salt. Those are just rumors. But pretty much they just split amicably, and then people thought she was like injured. I remember I thought I had read everywhere that she was actually injured and was
I read the same stuff.
And then she popped up in some indie event and then Impact, and she signed
we
with
can't
it.
have no bullying in the all-inclusive AEW.
Oh God.
Yeah, they said that she requested her release and was subsequently granted, and that the split was very amicable.
I guess that means she smiled.
Zing.
I will say one thing. I don't keep up with Impact, but I did see some of the Shamrock stuff, and I was a big Shamrock fan back in the day. And when I kept hearing the whole thing about Brock running through the Rumble, I so badly, I know it wouldn't happen, I so badly want to hear Shamrock's WWF music hit, and just Brock just looked scared to fucking shit when he came out. But he wasn't as jacked as he was in 1999.
I mean, he's still stout.
He still looks good. But that would have been a moment there. I think I got a good crowd pop in the Rumble if you'd seen Shamrock come out to face Lesnar. That's always been my fantasy Lesnar match.
I think that one would have tons of potential. I do. Who knows? We might see it. Lesnar is a free agent, so
it'd be potatoes.
It really would. It really would. Oh, damn. But other news coming out of ROH. I don't remember if we talked about it last week, but Skrull apparently is like completely on ice over there. Like he's almost a non-entity, basically.
Yeah, they're saying that he has nothing to do with ROH at this time, pending the investigation from the speaking out movement.
So what did Marty allegedly do?
What was it? Underage BJ?
Yeah, underage girl. Yeah.
Underage girl, pretty much she was drunk. Now, they didn't know the age, but they were at the bar, got her drinks, or she was drinking, so he presumed she was of age. Went back to her hotel room, couldn't get in, whipped his dick out, and then they went into a laundry room to do it, and her friend showed up and ended it. And then it came out that she was underage at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the short and long of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not getting into nitty-gritty, all the super details, as they come in.
I think the Joey Line stuff was a whole lot worse.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I can see that as... That's the thing with these movements like that. Some stuff's legit, and some stuff you just gotta look at with a grain of salt and go, okay, she got
There's
drank.
a fine line.
There's a fine line.
There's a fine line.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of depends on how you look at it, on if it's something bad or what.
This was in England, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So who knows? The rules may be different over there than over here. There you go.
When we had that discussion, that led to my thought of it might not be a legal issue. It's more of a morals issue. and
Yeah.
it's more of on the fan base. Because even if it's legal morally, if we object to it, then you're going to get the shit into the stick. And then it comes down to your employers. What are their morals in this situation?
That was the conversation that we had when we brought it up the first time, because I was very much, he didn't break any fucking laws, which he didn't, because she, although she was, I believe it was 17, she was of the legal age of consent. So there was no.
Let's look at the larger aspects of things. Let's just go ahead and call it like it was. She was a rat.
Ring rat.
Look at the 80s. Look at the 80s.
It could definitely have been that case, but
How many underage girls did the Rock and Roll Express bang?
Was it
Let's just be
Dudley Boy?
honest.
Well, with those mullets, who knows?
I mean,
Well, what I've heard, Robert Gibson was. There's a reason why he wore 2 trunks.
oh, I like it.
That means that man needed all the help he could get with that goddamn eye, because you could never tell if he was looking at you or looking at the chick next to you.
I don't think the eye became an issue until he got older, because I've watched some of the older stuff. I think he kind of had that Shawn Michaels Kane incident at some point later in his career.
The day the eye went right.
Yep.
Other promotions before we hit the real meat and potatoes of the evening. New Japan, we had 4 title changes over the weekend. 4. Sadly, it was a mixed bag for Bullet Club. It was. They lost the double gold. Naito took down Evil. He got his retribution and his moment in the spotlight again, which honestly makes more sense now because it's one of their first crowd shows back. Like big show, with a crowd.
Are they
So
doing 50%
Naito's getting
capacity?
his crowd moment. No, it's not capacity, but it's still crowd. But Naito beats Evil. Naito's double champ again. And then on the positive side for Bullet Club, Taiji Ishimori is now the junior heavyweight champion again.
Yeah, Bullet Soldier.
Yeah, Bone Soldier gets his belt back. The good Bone Soldier, not the bad one.
Yes.
We don't speak of the bad one. Outside of just saying he was the bad one. Then Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi retain their gold. They are still the heavyweight tag champs. Who were the other ones there, John? Oh, wait, I got one. Okay, sorry, forgot. So, just so you know, in case you missed it, Ishimori beat Hiromu for the belt. But
yeah.
the biggest one, to me, the biggest one, Suzuki, is now the never openweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Suzuki. No one can fuck with that guy. Nobody. Mean as shit. I sent you that video from, what was that, fucking 18 years ago? Or some shit. And he just fucking choked the life out of that guy. He went fucking limp like a dead fish. He was just like, just damn. Straight down to the mat. Suzuki is a funny motherfucker. But no news from New Japan tops this one, because this is the best news of John's life.
Fuck that motherfucking Yano!
Best news of John's life. I'll say it again. Best news. So, we talked about the whole King of Pro Wrestling 2020, the new, basically trophy that they introduced this summer. Well, the first KOPW winner, fucking Yano.
Fucking Yano! What the fuck?
John's ecstatic.
Thank God I don't watch that much fucking New Japan. Because I swear to God, I would have fucking puked in my mouth and then threw something at my fucking TV.
In case you didn't know, John loves Yano.
Fuck Yano!
For Christmas, John's getting one of Yano's DVDs. It's going to happen.
Which will get thoroughly smashed.
Send me
You
a
know you're
shirt.
gonna frame that bitch and hang it on the wall.
Yeah, send me a Yano shirt, and I'll send you a video of me wiping my ass with it. Make sure his face gets my fucking brown note.
Oh my god! Wow. Wow.
My hatred for Yano runs deep.
I know I had to pull it up and remember who Yano was, and now I see, and I'm
It's
like,
that
oh.
fucking infomercial, fucking douche nozzle.
And he has a belt now.
Yeah,
Or a trophy.
no, not a
title.
belt, a trophy. He is
Yeah,
a
okay.
provisional champion. That trophy gives him some sort of clout. I don't know the full.
He has a muffin top of man boobs.
Yeah, basically, and his main gimmick, he walks out with his DVDs that he tries to peddle, and then first thing he does in the ring every time, he takes off a turnbuckle cover. He exposes.
So he's Japanese Don West with little George Steele.
Yeah, but without the crazy. Unless you're talking like crazy, like maybe Billy Mays crazy.
Isn't that the guy from ShamWow? Or
Oh, and Yano with the big city slaughter. The referee didn't see it. It's a 1, 2. We have a new champion.
Excellent. Got me.
So
the fact that they gave him a fucking win over Okada for that shit. Where the fuck do they get off giving him wins over people like Okada and Moxley? What the fuck?
Yano with some powder. It looks like powder. No, it's OxyClean. Oh my god.
OxyClean.
Oh, Jesus. But Grayson, you were about to say?
ShamWow guy's name was Vince Shlomi.
Oh, okay. Not Billy Mays.
It's not Billy Mays. He also sold the chopper, the chop nuts thing.
The slap
The
chop.
slap chop. You'll love my nuts. Slap, slap, slap.
Didn't he get busted for beating up a tranny or something? The story, we'll say the story behind it was he paid her, started like making out or something, and then she violently bites his tongue and face, and he punches her in the face numerous times to get her off of him. I want to know what would happen if Yano joined Bullet Club.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh.
I mean, John already turned his back on him once. So
No, don't do it.
John would have to buy the.
For
That's
life.
the only way I think John would buy a Yano.
The skull's going to be a DVD.
I can't even imagine what that shirt would look like.
It'd be like a Todd Petty going NWO.
I don't know why, but I just feel like it's Tom Petty. It's a Tom Petty shirt. It just says Bullet Club. Don't know why. But that's where my mind went with Yano.
I will say that, one, I like Evil's Bullet Club shirt. Darkness Club.
Oh.
2, Dick Togo has a Bullet Club shirt now.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
Yeah. He came out with it at the match between Evil and Naito. He has a Bullet Club shirt now. I gotta get him. I'm behind on Bullet Club shirts. I still need my Kenta Club shirt. I need my Headbanger Club shirt. I need fucking the Evil one. I need the new Jay White Bullet Club shirt, which is like a skull spider. Yeah, it's pretty fucking sweet. I saw a picture of it the other day. Yeah, there's a lot of Bullet Club shirts I need to get. The downside is the only place to get them is fucking Rinks, fucking Pro Wrestling Tees, and their shipping is atrocious. But
Ooh. Go to Sleep Club? Is that a Kenta one?
Uh-huh.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I want it with the giant saber-toothed tiger fangs.
Yes.
But on more of the topic at hand of New Japan. So Roppongi 3K, as you know, over the summer we mentioned that. Let's see, was it Yo? I believe it was, had the shoulder injury during the New Japan Cup against Bushi. And Sho's been performing solo since then, but since they couldn't defend their tag titles, they have officially vacated the titles. So there's a tournament coming up to be decided on New Japan Road, the next big event, and the people involved in it. And here's the sad part. One, Bullet Club's junior heavyweight team was Ishimori and El Phantasmo. Since El Phantasmo is stuck overseas, currently the Bullet Club junior heavyweight team is Ishimori and fucking Gato.
Who's going to be carrying the weight of that team?
Oh, we already know. The other teams, you've got Desperado and Kanemaru, the only team in the tournament. Yeah, the only team in the tournament to have actually held these belts before. Then you've got Hiromu and Bushi, and then you've got Taguchi and Master Wato, the new guy that they're really trying to push. Who I just
they are.
I'm not sold on him.
Well, they could always have the tag team of Yano and his DVD.
Yeah, but Yano's a heavyweight. Legitimate.
He's an annoying weight. He's got
combined weight. Combined weight.
An annoying weight.
And then coming up stateside, we've got New Japan Strong, part of Fighting Spirit Unleashed, Night 1. The big main event, Jay White versus Flip Gordon.
Ooh.
Yep. The other match, Brody King versus Hikuleo. The other another match, Carl Fredericks and Mysterioso. And then the opening match is a tag match, Clark Connors and the DKC versus Fred Rosser and Alex Zane. That is your New Japan match coming up this week. So
That's something I want to talk about. Why is Fred Rosser not getting more opportunity? Because I've watched him wrestle live, and I really enjoy his work.
I don't know, man. But now that since he's looks like he's doing some stuff in New Japan, you could see him do more. I know since the travel restriction's so strong, at least New Japan really started pushing their American dojo. So that means we're getting a lot more stuff from them, and we're not just seeing all like the Japanese talent that most people aren't familiar with. You're actually getting to see some of the stateside talent and the crossover talent from ROH.
Because it's actually not a thing like that. That's a disappointment to the TNT Title Open Challenge. I'd rather seen Fred Rosser versus Cody than some of the ones he went against. I could see him going 20 minutes with Rosser versus Warhorse.
I enjoyed the Warhorse match. I did.
I'd rather see that than Eddie Kingston.
I like the Kingston match.
I like the Kingston match. It made more sense.
I just don't like Kingston.
Yeah. John is not a fan of Eddie Kingston.
Not at all.
Is it because what is it? Is it just the character?
I just never liked him from any of the other wrestling that I've seen him on. The character, the way and like I'm a New Yorker, and I hate the way he fucking talks because it is too much like a fucking New Yorker, wannabe gangster. You know, I don't know when they brought him in,
like a wannabe Taz kind of.
They brought him a wannabe Conan. They brought him into Impact and put him with LAX, and I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy? The King of New York is how they were. I don't know. The character just rubbed me the wrong way, and I haven't seen anything different from him. He went to NWA. It's the same fucking thing, partner. You know, and now he's in AEW doing the same shit, and you know. I'm just not impressed. I just don't like him. Unless this motherfucker is going to come out and do some crazy-ass hardcore shit, which is what he should be doing with that kind of fucking character. He should be breaking fucking kendo sticks off of people's back every other fucking day. But it's just, he's just a talker. And I don't dig it. I don't dig him.
Makes sense. But, Upshot, that's a good segue to AEW.
There you go. You're welcome.
Goddamn Kingston was on Dynamite this past week, too.
Again, with what the hell are they doing with this angle with the Butcher Blade Penta and Ray and Kingston. That shit makes no sense to me.
I don't know. I think
on
it's going to
Thursday.
be. I think it's going to be insanely short-lived. I think it's going to be a way for Kingston to double-cross them at the Battle Royal this weekend.
Yeah, because all 5 of them are going to be in it.
Mm-hmm. And he said only one of us is going to come out a winner. And then, he did that smirk and a wink when he said it.
Yeah.
So
Dynamite on Thursday this past week.
yeah.
Last week, yeah, it was on Thursday.
That's why I missed it.
This week on AEW, we should finally see the return of Excalibur.
Fingers crossed. I miss him. I want to hear fucking Tope con Hilo, Tope Suicida, any of the Topes.
That's what I want for
wanna take that
Ronaldo
down.
to
I want
say,
somebody-
Tope Suicida, Mamma Mia.
Fuck that dude.
Oh my
I
god!
want-
I hope he goes to AEW just to piss you off. I
Well, they
love
said
Mauro
he's
Ranallo.
still going to do Bellator and he's still going to do boxing. He's
Yeah, I was
just
gonna say he's gonna probably go back to MMA and boxing, less work schedule.
I hope that Jericho digs into his old 1997, 1998 Chris Jericho and rips that fucking mask off of Excalibur. That's just all I'm gonna say about him. Why is Excalibur not able to wrestle? Has he got like a permanent injury or something?
That I don't
I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
I
he
think it
just
was
not-
injuries.
Or Okay, yeah, let's let Jericho rip his mask off. That's kind of his shtick from his past.
Let's
I
find out
wanna
why
see-
he doesn't wrestle. I'm curious about that. I'm gonna look it up.
Here's what I want to happen. Here's what I want to happen. I want if you want that to go down, I want Jericho to do that, but I want Excalibur to kind of know about it, and so whenever Jericho rips off a mask, there's another one underneath it.
Yeah.
There's 5 masks.
Yeah. So Jericho rips off 1 or 2, and there's always one underneath it, and he's like, fuck it. And then he tries again the next
Didn't
week.
that happen with Juventud Guerrera?
Maybe. But,
The juice.
oh, fucking juice. But, if it did, it'd be another nice little callback. Plus, it would just be a little bit of fun humor on commentary. Just something to spice things up a little bit. But, let's see, who opened up Dynamite this past week, John?
We had
Quick question, record: was Dynamite taped or was it done live?
I think
it was live. It was live. Yeah. So you had the Natural Nightmares versus the Young Bucks versus the Best Friends versus FTR in
That's
that
right.
gauntlet match to open it, and that's where we saw Hangman Page.
Cost the
Turn.
Bucks the win by grabbing that
Yeah.
ankle.
Grabbed that ankle, and they wound up losing that friggin' match. And he hasn't said why. There's been nothing about the whys behind it. But it led to Hangman being kicked out of the Elite.
Yeah, a little later on, like they pretty much called him a drunk to his face, threw his beer in his face, or his whiskey in his face, and then said, "That's it, you're out of the Elite," and walked away.
Who kicked him out? The Bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Where was Omega?
wherever
Wasn't
Omega
there.
is.
Yeah, nowhere to be found, which is typical of that tag
Okay.
team. So it's just
I'm
one
just
step
trying to
closer to
make
us
sense
getting
of
the
things.
new Horseman.
Since we bring up the new Horseman and the fact that FTR won this big match this past Thursday, Weatherman, you were saying about how you think they've misused them.
Yeah, it's just they came in. We all knew, the Bucks are going to be the babyface team and whatnot. And it was the misuse was they came in as a babyface. They helped the Bucks out. Okay, that made no sense. Like the booking of them has been so wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Babyface
When-
one way, and they show heel tendencies, and you just don't know what they are.
That's kind of what I liked about it. It was more of a loose cannon type of thing. they don't want anyone to know what they're planning. It was kind of like a keeping the cards close to your chest type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that, especially since, as like the big rumors of that new Four Horsemen being built, and then them being aligned with Tully, and then the constant, basically interactions with Hangman and how he's basically their third, and then Tully's other protege, Sean Spears, getting the black glove a la Wyndham a while back before FTR showed up.
Yep.
It all seems like at All Out, we're going to see that whole crew together.
That's what I'm hoping.
Here's the sad thing about all this. This is one of the points about AEW. They have all these guys that are good talkers. You got Jake Roberts. You got Tully, even Arn, when he wants to do it. And it's just misused. It's like the Jake and Lance Archer stuff. Like the last one I seen was the one where he ripped his shirt off.
That one was fucking stupid. That one
was
no
weird.
Goddamn sense.
Roberts, you got one of the best promos in wrestling to use, and you do stupid shit like that with him.
Yeah, that one made no sense, but this week's, because Archer had a match this week. And,
against Sean Maluda.
Yeah, and it was a good match. It was. But,
for those who don't know Maluda was in NXT. He was on the main roster for a half a minute. He's the nephew of one of the Wild Samoans, so he's part of that Samoan legacy with Roman Reigns, The Rock, Nia Jax, and all them. He's one of the less talented members of that dynasty, but nonetheless.
The Black Sheep.
Yeah, he's part of it.
But, Archer, of course, handedly won. Jake came out, started cutting promos. And it was a good Jake promo. They didn't let Archer do too much Archer.
Yeah.
They kept him under control and made him seem like more of the dangerous loose cannon like he should be. And then out comes Taz and company.
Yeah.
So they're basically setting up a nice... I think they're setting up an Archer and Brian Cage feud coming up.
Yep.
And that's fun there because you got two mouthpieces you want to hear bicker.
Exactly. And they definitely bickered.
Yeah, they did. Oh, you want to go there? You want to go there? Taz was putting it on.
It was
Jake
good.
didn't give a shit. Jake was cutting a Jake promo, just saying what he says.
I know.
It was fucking awesome. But they announced that all of them are going to be in the Battle Royal at All Out. And
Darby
then
ran in and started fucking laying.
Is this just going to be a battle royal, or is it going to be the casino battle royal thing again?
the Casino Battle Royal, 21
They're
men.
always going to keep with the casino theme. It's going to be the running gimmick with AEW, just because it's like the company was a gamble, so thus all the gambling stuff. They went all
give
in.
us a World War III.
Say what?
Give us a World War III.
Oh man. Only if they get 3 promotions together to truly battle.
That would be awesome.
The way I would like to see it, AEW, NWA, New Japan. I think that would be the strongest of the 3. A secondary would be AEW, ROH, New Japan. Those right there would make a great World War III because you have a triple threat.
I don't think you would. I think you could put them all in there because ROH and NWA would barely be able to put 30 together.
Yeah, I know.
Or yeah,
ROH could do a fair sum. I mean, it wouldn't be every single talent that you have. It would be the tip top, the heavy drawers, and a few mid carders. You definitely have fucking the likes of Villain Enterprises showing up. You'd have the Briscoes, etc. Coming in from ROH, New
that's what
Japan.
we was talking earlier. We need to have that multi-platform deal right now with COVID and everything, so we can get that Briscoes FTR match, everybody that we deserve.
Oh yeah. I could see it happening.
And plus, with the Bucks giving their promos, oh, we're the best tag team in the business. All you gotta do is hit that down, 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 and then just have them come out and Jailers look at them and go, last time I checked, boy, we owned your ass for the last seven years, which they have on record. Well,
it could be some good stuff, man. It could be some real good stuff.
Oh, you talk about the best tag team in the world. You're looking at them right here from Sandy Fork.
I definitely think it, and some stuff we'll be going over when we go real into All Out here in a little bit. The fact that they are actually doing some crossover work with NWA officially, I think that's going to be the dipping the toe in the water of doing crossover work with other promotions. It's going to be more likely now. But moving on, we also had, as we mentioned before, the very unlikely teaming and weird quasi-stable thing, which apparently Eddie Kingston doesn't like them being called a stable, but the Lucha Brothers, Butcher and the Blade, against Brian Pillman Jr., Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss.
And Griff Garrison. Garrison.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Pillman Jr. stuck in this mess?
Because he doesn't, outside of his name and the junior coming after it, he doesn't have as much clout as the other team and a few of the other people. He's also, he just signed what, last month?
He's still not signed because he's signed with MLW.
Oh, that's why.
He's still got a contract with MLW, but much like MJF, when he signed his contract with them, AEW did not exist. There's a clause in his contract which says he cannot work for Ring of Honor, New Japan, WWE, all these other companies, but it doesn't have anything about AEW because AEW didn't exist.
Either way, I mean, that match turned out pretty good. We knew who was going to win as soon as it was announced. We did. And I'm still surprised that Pillman Jr. took the pin.
Yep.
I expected Garrison to do it. But Pillman took the pin.
I would let Janela take the pin.
Yeah, that worked too, because Janela's over no matter what. There.
Well,
and I enjoy Janela.
They've been using Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison on Dark for the last couple of weeks. They've been having them as a tag team on AEW Dark. So I guess it doesn't matter which one of them takes the pin. It was going to be one of those two, because it wasn't going to be Sonny Kiss and it wasn't going to be Janela, because they're mid-level talent on the main roster that could potentially see, a shot at the tag team titles someday.
Yeah, they're going to push their let's call it their OG signings over some new guys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'd be pushing Sonny Kiss and Janela out the door and get some better talent than that. Kiss is too green to me, and Janela is
awesome.
just.
Kiss is getting better.
Kiss is awesome. That dude's got so much fucking talent.
If he dials back the gymnastics and the awkwardly timed split attacks just a little bit, it'll look much better.
But that's what makes JR friggin' misgender him.
I know. And honestly, that flipping split from the top rope, terrible. Terrible as it's awesome, but God, every time that he misses, I'm just like, oh.
Where's his ball sitting?
Hurts me. I will say that the Dark Order celebration was very, very awkward.
Yeah, we saw some of the BTE stuff happen during that. I don't know if you've been watching Being the Elite, but watching the Dark Order on Being the Elite is probably my favorite thing now. Because watching the way that those Elite clowns on John Silver's is fucking awesome.
This is one thing that I think that kind of aggravates me with AEW. BTE is a YouTube show. I get Dark is too, but you are on TNT for 2 hours. I should not have to watch BTE to get some of the stuff that's going on TNT. You get what I'm saying?
That's their social media game, though, man. It's on point. We've been saying this for a year now. The fact that they make you want to go to their social media to get on board with this stuff is, the opposite of how you feel about it. I think it's fucking awesome because it's driving me to watch their other products.
Now, the upshot, though, even if you don't watch it, you can still understand what's going on. Mostly all you're missing out on are funny, little in-jokes and references.
That John Silver getting beat by Brody Lee was definitely a straight-up play into BTE because their celebration they come walking in with chilies, and the Dark Order's all excited because they got fucking chilies, and every time John Silver tries to say something to Brody Lee, he just says, shut the fuck up, Silvers, you fucking piece of shit, fuck. He just goes up and starts cursing him out. It's the best thing.
I will say the Dark Order has gotten more over with me since Brody Lee came along than what they were initially, because I just could not stand him to begin with.
Now here's the Dark Order for me. First version 1 Dark Order, Evil Uno, the Creepers, and Stu Grayson. Fucking loved it.
Yep.
Up until, let's give it until January. After January, it became that middle-of-the-road Dark Order, where it was a bunch of fucking jobbers, and Stu Grayson and Evil Uno had disappeared.
Yeah.
And so, that was a big downtime.
Well, they were stuck in Canada.
Yeah. And then, I'm not even going to say the initial arrival of Brody Lee. I'm going to give it until...
the build-up.
Not the build-up. The build-up, and then his initial arrival, it kind of fell a little flat.
Because we first thought it was Matt Hardy.
Yeah. I thought it fell a little flat. I was super stoked to see who it was, and I was like, that's a good choice. But situations beyond their control made it fall flat. So that's why they had that nasty
It would have been better with a crowd.
Exactly. Would have been better with a crowd, would have been better with the full Dark Order there, so you could have had Evil Uno cut one of his great promos to really introduce Brody Lee, and then Brody Lee comes in and does one of his. It would have been perfect. But because of that, up until... I'm going to push this one all the way up till June. That's version 2. The weak sauce version. From June until now, that was the rebuild. Version 3, that's the good getting better. And so I only see them going up from here, as long as they don't turn into a comedy act.
Well, that makes me... Okay, so with the Dark Order now, we're starting to get the Dark Order that we've always wanted. This just a unit that runs roughshod, beats the shit out of people, does what they want kind of thing. But how do you feel about them going back and forth about the names? Like, at one point they're calling them only by numbers, 3, 4, 5, 10, but now they're calling them by names because Preston Vance, they called 10 Preston Vance this week. Silvers and Reynolds, they're calling them by their names. They're calling 5 Eric Angels or Aaron Angels or whatever the hell his name is. Aaron number 5 Angels, or they're giving them names again, and I don't like that. I would rather...
I do want them to be straight-up numbers. But if they're going to be straight-up numbers, then honestly Stu Grayson needs to take a number. Officially.
No, I would keep him with his name just because of how they came in, but everybody...
Make him number 0.
Should be... he's number 2. But I wouldn't call him number 2,
it's like... You got Brody Lee, Evil Uno already has his number.
And then they referred to Anna Jay as number 99 this week. We possibly saw Tainara Tay Conti, or whatever they're calling her. They offered her a contract to join the Dark Order. Colt Cabana was with them again. and Aiden English, using social media, posted a picture of him and Mr. Brody Lee together, and with the caption, "I'm just going to leave this here." It makes sense to bring him in. He is married to Shaw Guerrero, who's their newest commentator, ring announcer. His mother-in-law, Vicky Guerrero, is there. So it's possible we could see Aiden English come in as a member of the Dark Order. And if they do that, they need to bring him in as like a vaudevillain, like his old vaudevillain character, but make him like Dick Dastardly. Put him in a fucking trench coat. Make him grow his mustache out. Put a fucking top hat on him. Make him fucking like evil like that, like cartoony evil. I think that'd be awesome.
It has potential.
I think there's more potential now because they have the belt, a belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need the tag titles too.
Yeah.
To make it more
I don't
established.
see them getting the tag titles anytime soon. Those tag titles are destined for FTR.
But you know what? You get what I'm saying. They're a group that kind of does that at one point. Need to hold all the belts down the road
to truly like cement their legitimacy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're going for there.
And they can beat FTR. They can beat FTR in a shit finish. They got all the means to do it. That way you don't kill FTR. FTR can come back and take it back.
Yep.
And work their way up. And fight through the whole Dark Order to get to the belts.
Well, I'd like to see something along those lines. Like almost like they have to run a Dark Order gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be pretty solid. I'd say that wouldn't happen for at least a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to bring Aiden English in, I'd rather see him tag with Stu and leave Uno as a manager.
I could get behind that. I couldn't.
I like them as Super Smash Brothers. I can't see splitting them up. Their friggin' finisher, that fatality, man, that thing's awesome.
That or even better, since Kenny's been talking about those triple tag belts for a long time, that could be a triple tag that they create out of it.
Yeah.
So you create that triple team right there with Aiden English, Stu Grayson, and Evil Uno. You've got your 3-man tag team. So moving on, because I mean we could speculate on the Dark Order for days because they've got so much potential. But Mox pulled a fast one on MJF.
That shit had me rolling. He's gonna have a match with his lawyer next week.
Tomorrow.
But tomorrow. What killed me about that was the whole. He talked about Renee Young. Maybe you should tell that hot little wife of yours I'm single. I was like, oh no, he didn't just bring her up.
I mean,
he dug at his hairline too, at Moxley's hairline.
Did Moxley get a hold of MJF this week?
No. He played it cool.
One thing I do want to see in the near future with MJF, I want to see the Dynasty. Whenever they can get Hammerstone and can't think of the other's head off my head, if they can get them out of MLW, there's a faction. And
they were good in MLW. They were one of the reasons I would watch MLW every now and then, was for them.
So what else from last week do we have?
Kenny Omega showed up in the Thunderdome.
Yes. I think we mentioned that earlier. Or was that off the air?
That was off the air. At first it was reported that somebody who looks exactly like Kenny Omega was in the Thunderdome, and they showed him pretty prominently on TV. He went and sent a tweet out confirming that it was him, and he was just trying to have a good time. He didn't think anyone would notice. I'm like, oh man, that's funny.
They found Chris Benoit.
I'm just wondering when we're going to get a week in the Thunderdome where there's not something racially or something screwed up on there. You know, how long is it going to be till we get a week without that?
Never.
Probably not. We had, we talked about Butcher Blade and all that stuff. They wind up winning.
Almost jumped over Big Swole in her handicap match, and
yeah, the 3-on-1.
Honestly, the best part of that match, it was really, really awkward, but the best part of that match was her doing the foot scoop, pushing Penelope Ford out of the ring.
I thought he was going to say the end of the match.
Well, that was at the end, so I guess I kind of did.
I'm just not sold on the Big Swole character.
I like
Neither
Big
am I.
Swole. They just haven't done it. I don't think they've really pegged exactly how they want to market her yet. But the feud that's come along organically, I think they haven't really tried to force it.
Mm-hmm.
And at All Out, I think her going up against Britt Baker is really going to put her to the test. Let's put it that way.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the match is going to happen.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think she's recovered enough from her various surgeries that she had. The nose, the leg. You know, she's still coming out in the wheelchair, and I get it. That's part of the character, the role model, and all that stuff. But there's nothing that I've seen from her on-screen and off-screen that makes me think that she is ready to participate in a full wrestling match right now.
Mm. Well, there could easily be something where she comes out like she's going to, and then, you know, run-ins, etc., etc. I don't know.
She hires Awesome Kong as a replacement.
That's what I was literally just going to say. I'm not medically cleared yet, but I did bring somebody to take my place, and they introduce a new female character, or they bring back somebody like Awesome Kong.
I think Awesome Kong needs to come back, or the other Kong, Aja Kong.
Oh, Aja Kong, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe, but I don't think Statlander's ready to come back yet. She's still on a long road to recovery with her leg.
I think we were denied the Nyla Rose Awesome Kong feud.
Yeah, that's gonna when that actually happens. I hope that happens. I hope Awesome Kong comes back and that feud gets reignited, because that's going to be a fucking barn burner.
Yeah, we lost that feud to Netflix.
Well, that show is no longer a show, so we may have gotten it back from Netflix.
Well, now, she had to go record the last season. That's why she's been gone so long. So we lost that feud because of them recording that.
Well, at least we lost that stupid Brandy angle.
Oh my
God.
The Nightmare Collective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just leave Brandy behind the gorilla position.
I thought that's what she was going to do. That's what she said.
But she's got
early on in the AEW career.
Front and center. She's a good ring announcer. I'll give her that.
I think she could do well as a manager. That's about it.
She was well with the manager when it was just her and Cody, but Cody doesn't need a whole entourage.
No, Cody doesn't need an entourage. That part's worn thin on me for a while now. It started at All In 2 years ago, and it's just kind of grown.
But that's because of the situation. It was a freaking NWA Championship match.
Exactly, but it's grown from that. Then it made sense. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just a gimmick. But
you've got Arn to turn on you, which will probably eventually happen. They're going to reform the Horsemen.
Yeah, Arn's going to turn on him, and I could he's not going to be at All Out because of the injury. So my original prediction of him turning on him by the time All Out comes around isn't going to happen. But it doesn't mean that we won't see Arn there.
If the turn happens, I want to see a Tully and Arn hug.
Yes.
And a smile and a hug. Because that way you know, oh boy.
I want to see one spine buster at least.
That's what I'm saying. He spine busters Cody do the turn, totally smiles. They look at each other and they put up 4 fingers.
Yep, that'll do it. That will do it. Main event from Thursday night.
Sammy and Matt tables match.
I was let down.
Yeah, it wasn't as...
It was really rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it wasn't as spot heavy as I would have liked. There were some good spots, the deleted table, all that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, I was expecting more.
I didn't think it was a good enough setup for what's coming up this weekend. I really didn't. But on that note, the best part was angry Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Out of fucking nowhere. Laying into Jericho.
Puts Jericho through a fake wall, brawl on stage, roll around till they get separated. I can't wait for the Mimosa Mayhem match. It's going to be glorious.
It's going to be something else. That is 100% for sure. Let me go ahead and get my table drawn up here because we're moving into prediction territory.
Yep, I got the updated card right here.
I've got. Let me see what yours has. Mine, I've got. For the opener, we've got Private Party and SoCal versus Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks for the winning team taking on each other on Dynamite. Then you've got Hardy and Sammy. I don't know. It's one of the weirdest match stipulations I've heard. When I saw it, it made no sense to me. Then you got Dark Order versus Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares.
Yep.
The Battle Royal, Women's Championship, Tag Championship, Jericho Cassidy, and the AEW Championship.
Yep.
That's same stuff?
Yep.
Right.
I didn't have the first one that you mentioned. I got everything else.
Yeah, that one, they announced it on that episode of Dynamite. I saw it, and I was just like, that makes no sense.
And so, to go back to what we were talking about earlier, it says Excalibur retired in 2007.
Huh. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it says he retired from working wrestling matches in 2007. It was due to fearing that the concussions that he suffered throughout his career would cause him to lose years off his life, or that his brain would start to deteriorate at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said in the 2011 episode of Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast.
Okay.
Makes me wonder about that promo that he cut that he got in trouble for. How fucking old was that thing? He retired in 2007.
That was 2004, I thought.
Okay. 16 years ago.
That's a while back.
Cancel culture, don't matter how long ago it was.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
It's true.
Just think, Cornette got fired from NWA or he resigned because of a joke he made in 1986. So he repeated it.
But he made it again recently.
He made it again.
That's what.
But it made there. It made it through edit though. That's the funny thing about it. So they thought it was okay.
Oh yeah, that or somebody just really hated Cornette.
And I actually found the origin of that joke too. It was originally a Big Bubba Rogers joke.
Huh. Interesting. All right, so we ready to jump into predictions for all?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's start with Private Party and SoCal Uncensored versus Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks. So the big stipulation with this match, which makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever, is whichever team wins, that team faces itself in a regular tag match on Dynamite next week, September 9th.
Yeah, it can't be the second because the second.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. I don't know what, or that's today. It's just written down as a second here. I think it was a typo.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing. CBS Sports.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll start it off this way. Grayson.
I think you left the part. Click here.
Express and the Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks.
Bucks.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Go
I'm
ahead and
going
call
with
the
that.
next one. It's Bucks.
I'd have to agree.
I have to agree as well.
That's a pretty easy one because it's the two most over teams in AEW, really, next to FTR, and against Private Party and Enhancement Team.
Mhm.
Senior Citizens Uncensored.
Oh.
That's still MCU.
No, when I first read this, I thought it was Private Party. I thought it was a tournament thing. It was Private versus SoCal, and then Jurassic Express versus Bucks. My pick is still Bucks. It doesn't matter. But I was thinking it'd be a throwback to the original tournament that they started with Private Party and the Bucks challenging each other. And then the Bucks would finally get their redemption of going to a tag title match for winning that match. But then I reread it, and it was and then I reread it, and I was like, oh, whatever, it's still Bucks.
It makes no damn sense. Oh.
I'm cool with it. You got 4 competitive teams all vying for the same thing, but to make them earn it, they have to work together.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Everything
true,
has to have a gimmick in AEW, it seems.
to an extent, yes. To an extent.
Speaking of gimmicks, the next match.
The Broken Rules match.
All
Hardy
right,
and
so
Guevara.
The rules are: the winner will be the last man standing, determined when one man can't answer the referee's 10 count. The finish can take place anywhere. There must be a winner, and if Matt Hardy loses the match, he will leave AEW forever.
And then
That
he comes in as someone else. Matthew Harday.
Harday.
Matthew Harday.
I think that
Is
basically
this taking
guarantees
place
that
there?
Hardy wins.
Yeah, that's how I felt. The only thing I can think of is if they rekindled the dumbass fucking Mr. America thing with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is banned. Well, now he's Mr. America.
In a mask.
Hulk Hogan.
Well,
Mr.
Matt Hardy or
Fair.
Mr. Florida or Mr. North Carolina.
There we go. Mr. Cameron.
I'm Mr. No Contest. Mr. NC.
Mr. Wrestling 4.
Who y'all taking on this one?
I'm taking Hardy. I am.
I'm going Hardy too.
I'm going Guevara with some fuckery.
Ooh, Guevara with fuckery. I like it.
I think the fuckery, but Matt overcomes probably due to one of his gimmick changes or some shit. Even though he says he's not gonna, it's a broken rules match. So that right there already tells you it's a Damascus match.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I do like that they've kind of phased that out just a little bit now that he's gotten a bit more cemented in the company.
Yeah.
They've kind of phased that gimmick and dialed it back a touch. So that's nice.
Well, he was a victim of COVID. He didn't have a crowd to play off of.
It's true. It's true.
I did love the multiple Matt Hardys when he would change during the matches, like the
Yes.
Stadium Stampede match.
Oh, that was great.
That shit was brilliant.
Getting dunked in the pool by
Yeah.
Timing was terrible, though.
the what?
Timing was terrible because Shad Gaspard had drowned like 3 days before.
Yeah. We talked about that. That was kind of rough. They said it was insensitive. Some people thought it was insensitive. Same could be said about the choking thing during the Randy Orton Edge match at WrestleMania, where they said it was a throwback to Chris Benoit hanging himself in the gym after killing his family. I don't know.
Somebody's going to take offense with something somewhere. It's just
Exactly.
like at times you've just got to kind of be like, hey, they planned this shit ahead of time.
QAnon makes conspiracy theories again.
Quit fucking reading into shit. It's wrestling.
So, moving on, we got the Dark Order versus the randomly thrown together collective of Cody's friends.
Dark Order setting up a feud with Matt Cardona and Brody Lee. Done. You're welcome.
I could see that. We talked about this a couple weeks ago about who we could see going up as a challenger for him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Dark Order as well.
Yep.
Alex, are you in agreement?
I'm in agreement. Yeah.
I mean, it's
That's
the
the
top.
Weatherman.
It's
We
the,
don't call
it's
him
the
Alex.
top tier. It's the top tier of the Dark Order. If it was Brody, Colt, and then like the Beaver Bros, my guess would not be the Dark Order. But if it's the head honchos in Colt Cabana, it's the Dark Order.
Oh yeah, that's
Who do we have? We have Brody, Colt, Evil, and Stu in that match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
that's Dark Order.
AEW was pulling AEW and Colt turn.
No,
Look,
it's
that
not
was
right.
another person we talked about as a challenger for the belt also, eventually, would be Colt Cabana. That'd be his way to get out of the cult of Brody Lee.
I don't see Colt doing a true turn ever. He's never going to go full like Dark Order style heel. It's never going to happen. He's going to play the befuddled, hey, they're getting me where I need to be type of will he, won't he sort of angle for a while. And then he's going to turn against them right at the moment where he's able to challenge for that TNT belt.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to either set it up to where Brody Lee loses that belt or he gets it off of Brody Lee.
What if Brody Lee? What if Brody Lee were to give it to him to get him to join the Dark Order, where he gifts him the TNT title and he goes after the World Championship, but he gifts it to Colt Cabana to get him to join the Dark Order?
Then Jack Tunney's going to come out and tell him he can't do that.
Straight from the grave, President Jack Tunney.
Or he pulls a Kevin Dash and lays down for him.
Oh.
No pain.
Oh.
I just want them to change. If he's going to be in the Dark Order, I just hope they change the O to a U so it's Colt Cabana.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun. So, the Battle Royal. There's 21 people in it. We know of, 10 or 11?
Well, we know 5 members of
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston's posse. Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, Lance Archer. That's 9.
Well, that'd be 10.
How are you counting 10?
No, it's 9. It's 9.
Is it 9? Okay, I bet.
I miscounted because whenever I was looking at the listing, I was counting Thee and Butcher as 2. That's literally what just happened. It was either that or TBD was 1, but I think it was the Thee and Butcher was 2. So I'm gonna go with Thee.
That's a safe bet.
The winner.
Yeah, I have no prediction as of yet until I see a more definitive list. Because last time when they had the ladder match, the casino ladder match, it was the unannounced person who wound up winning it in Brian Cage. So
I'm gonna. That's pretty much my thought. Is we can't make a reasonable guess, but for the sake of making a guess, since there's of the people listed now, I'm going Kingston.
I am too, honestly, because just the way he's been smirking every time he's with the group and winking at the camera, to me, Kingston's playing snake in the grass long game, and he's double crossing fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Because Kingston's all about Kingston.
yeah,
Plain and simple.
Is Pac still stuck overseas?
Yes.
yes, as far as we know, but he might show up. Who knows?
Well, in that case, I'm going with Swoggle.
Swoggle? Okay. There you go.
Swoggle it is.
I've written it down. John?
Christ.
Even though this prediction gets an asterisk on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the asterisks right there. Okay.
See, who's our current? We got Mox with the belt right now. We've already seen Cage and Mox.
Archer. Archer was Cody.
Yeah, Archer was Cody. Archer wasn't Mox. it's a toss-up at this point right now between Kingston and Archer.
So you're going Archer.
Yeah, because fuck Kingston.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like, okay, he's going Archer. I didn't even have to think about it.
I was going to say,
All right.
it's not Darby, it's not Cage. I don't
It's not
believe
Starks.
It's not going to be Pinto or Phoenix. It's not going to be Butcher or Blade because they're all in the tag team division. They're not going to separate them out. It's not what they do.
Although Penta Mox could be good.
Penta Mox would be great because Penta Omega was amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see Lance being in the title picture yet. I think he's going to feud with someone else who started, possibly what we mentioned, Cage earlier.
Cage. Yeah.
The two monster behemoths.
I think he's going to beat the shit out of Cage and take that belt.
I think it's going to start with him and Starks, and then it's going to build to Archer and Cage.
Darby is going to fucking just...
Oh, yeah, I forgot Darby and Starks has their thing. Never mind.
Darby and Starks are going to
yeah.
kill each other in that match.
Yeah, it's Archer and Cage. It's going to be
Okay. So, the next one is the match that I'm most torn about of all of them. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa.
It's Sheeta.
Sheeta.
Thunder Rosa.
I'm going with Rosa, too, because I want to see her with the double belt to get some goodwill
Here's
towards
the thing.
NWA, some more crossover appeal.
Here's the thing, and she had major momentum in the NWA before COVID.
Oh, God, she did.
Yes, she did.
And she had Melina, too, correct, at her side?
Yeah, sort of.
Not really. Yeah, at the
It
end
kind of
there,
was, but
really.
Melina wanted the belt from Rosa, and Rosa was like, nah, bitch. So it was kind of one of those.
Rosa, it will kind of get, like we was talking about before, it'll get the belt off of that Japanese girl niche they've been on,
Mhm.
and Rosa can still be a heel, and they can have a heel champion.
No, my main thing with it is, one, if Sheeta wins, I'll be happy. I'll be sad that Thunder Rosa lost because I like Thunder Rosa a lot. If Thunder Rosa wins, I'll be super happy. I like Sheeta a lot. I'll be kind of sad that Sheeta loses. They're both incredibly good. Now, if we break it down as if these things weren't planned out super far in advance, etc. and so on, from a sheer talent standpoint, Rosa has Sheeta's number all day long.
Yep, I will agree with that.
All day.
But she's not going to. But she's not going to win the belt.
It's as highly unlikely as it is. I want it to happen just because I think that sort of like goodwill crossover type of thing would be good for both companies.
You already mentioned how this match is going to fucking end, because you talked about the Melina storyline in NWA. Melina is going to interfere, so that way it builds up an NWA storyline. Hey, what's going on there? Maybe we should watch NWA when it comes back on. Sheeta wins.
Well, the NWA's up in the air right now.
But my thoughts, because I was speaking with Weatherman about this earlier today, go more along the lines of, if Rosa wins, that also creates a storyline for NWA if they come back pretty soon, because Rosa can rub it in Melina's face about how well she's done, without her support. Because that was the big angle in NWA, was that Melina was like, I got you to where you were, blah, 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 And so, if it worked out this way, Rosa would have 2 belts for Melina to covet, and then be able to lord it over her. The only reason why it probably wouldn't go that way, just because, it's because it's someone from an outside company winning this company's women's division's big belt.
That's a lot of goodwill to put on a performer from another company, because Billy Corgan is not going to give up on Thunder Rosa. He knows she's a friggin' meal ticket.
I know. And, I mean, That's why I'm thinking.
And that's why I see the squirrely finish with Melina coming in, or whoever Sheeta's next opponent's going to be. Somebody's going to interfere with this.
I don't think you can kill Thunder Rosa's heat.
Yeah.
You can't kill her momentum that she's got.
No. It's going to have to either be a weird fishy finish, or Thunder Rosa's going to have to win to not destroy the momentum. It's not going to destroy Sheeta's momentum, in my opinion.
No.
What you
I'm
got?
going with Grayson.
No. There's going to be a second match. Just go ahead and call it. There's probably going to be a second match. This one's too big to be a one-off. It's going to be Hikaru Shida wins. Okay, it's either going to be a false finish type deal, or a Melina shows up, causes a distraction or something, fucks up, and Hikaru wins. Something's going to happen. Shida wins.
Yep.
Thunder Rosa has valid claim to a rematch, and then they do another rematch, and then how that goes, that's another story. It depends on NWA's situation. But as far as Hikaru losing it to an outside competitor, that's not happening at this stage of the game. AAA tag teams aside, that's the only time you're going to see it in the first year of a company. You're not going to tarnish your belt in that way of where your prized wrestlers are going to lose their belt to someone.
Makes sense.
Yep, makes sense to me.
I'm still gonna just lean to Rosa just in the most outside chance, even though
I just feel the bigger star.
Yeah, I'm going from a sheer talent standpoint, but like I told Weatherman earlier, and he can back me up on this. I said this is the way this match is going to work. It's going to start. Thunder Rosa's going to put on a fucking clinic on how women wrestle. It's going to be straight up the Thunder Rosa show for almost the entirety of that match. But then Sheeta's going to win.
Yes, she is.
But
the only other thing I can think of, and the reason as to why Thunder Rosa wins, is because numerous NWA people have left and joined AEW, and they're like, fuck, we kind of gave them the shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I could see it, but I think it's more of, this is their way of saying, shit, we gave them the shit end of the stick. Let's put their women's champion front and center, hellaciously good match, false finish, builds up Hikaru because Thunder Rosa is the better of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And this also gives Hikaru some clout to say, yeah, I'm fucking good. Because right now, she claims it, but she hasn't done it. And this is the, I want competition.
What if, okay, in that note, how about this? It gives Hikaru Shida a chance to do what Thunder Rosa did and put in a claim for the NWA women's title belt, since she beat Rosa.
Yeah, that's fine.
then so the next time they fight, they're going after that belt. And then that Rosa wins. They have a third one where both belts are on the line.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
I would like to see that series. That series has a lot of potential for me.
Because honestly, AEW and NWA would do well working with each other. They both have the shticks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both well. And then Tony Khan loves old school, well-established wrestling, and NWA has the history of that.
Yeah.
You know, if Thunder Rosa wins, it's going to be in a situation where she doesn't win the belt. If Thunder Rosa wins, it's going to be a count-out, a disqualification, something like that. But she's not going to get the belt. She's not. I do not see her getting the belt from another company. I don't see AEW giving up their largest women's title to somebody not with the company.
I'm perfectly fine with that too. If she wins but doesn't get the belt, I'm okay with that because she still wins.
Yeah,
I will take.
But I don't see the NWA coming back for at least 4 or 5 months. So even if she were to win it, she's got time to run with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was going to say is, you know, NWA has no plans to come back yet. So this is probably their way of saying, shit, we can't really pay them unless they're wrestling, so we can't hold them hostage in their own house. Let him go.
But this is going to be a big question here with how this match goes. Nick
Go.
Aldis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you do with him?
Nothing right now. There's no. Aldis has money. He don't need to do shit unless he wants to.
It's true, but he's going to have to do something because he's always talking about how he's, a fighting champion, a champion's champion.
He's about to get that Retromania percentage points, so he's fine.
That's true.
That does bring up an interesting point, though. Although AEW wasn't a thing at the time, they did belt Cody with the NWA title prior to All In.
No, at All In.
Or at All In, yeah, and then he lost it back. So, I mean, there's that rub there, so maybe we give the rub back by putting the belt on Thunder Rosa. I don't know, this one's hard to call.
Like I said, this match right here is the one where you just basically call your favorite. I mean, you can pretty much deep down know who it's going to be, but you don't want to admit it, so you're going to call your favorite. I'm going to call Thunder Rosa because Thunder Rosa
But AEW does non-normal things in the wrestling business.
It's true, they do. I all I can say about this one is I like how we've got kind of 50-50 split on it. So no matter how it goes, the show wins.
Yep.
So because I know that match and all of our theories,
And it may be match of the night.
If that's not match of the night,
so.
it'll be hard pressed not to be. It's going to definitely be top.
It'll be a 4.25 on the Meltzer scale.
It's either that or a Hangman Page FTR. I don't know, Hangman Page and FTR. I don't know how good of a match that's going to be because I think it's going to be a turning point with friggin' Page.
Oh yeah,
going to
FTR are getting those belts.
Yeah, no
FTR
doubt.
are getting the belts this weekend. Hangman is going to, I don't think he's going to, obviously sell Kenny out to them, but it's going to happen. There's going to be a moment where he can make a save, and he doesn't do it.
It's going to be a double turn.
Oh,
Yeah. It'll be Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's going to take the pinfall here, and FTR and Adam Page will be together before it is over. And who knows, maybe we see Sean Spears come out with Tully.
Yeah. So I believe we're all taking FTR.
They teased the return of the cleaner.
Yep. He had the aviators on and everything.
I would think if they do that, Kenny leaves Page to himself.
Yeah.
He gets destroyed. Kenny comes out chewing the gum with his mouth open, aviators on. V triggers him, and that's it. And just walks off.
Fuck a belt.
Off laughing.
I could see that. That would be pretty cool.
And throws the belt down at the side of him.
That would swerve everybody in the sense that you thought it was Hangman that was going to do the full flip, but it was Kenny who double-crossed Hangman and sent him on his way. It kind of gives the Elite the upper hand in the turn.
That's what I was going to say. Is the swerve is the Elite turns heel.
It's gonna be hard pressed because the Bucks haven't done any sort of heel business.
But the thing about it is, Kenny needs a revamp.
I want to see cleaner version 2.0 bring Kenny back to peak Kenny, say 20
Before he became the best bout machine.
2016, 2017, or would I go even back 2015? Yeah, when he took on the cleaner gimmick, when he turned heel and joined Bullet Club, that going up to when he honestly double-crossed AJ, that was peak Kenny.
I would agree.
Here's my question. Does New Japan own that music?
Which one?
The cleaner music.
Did he have his own music? Because almost everyone came out to the stock Bullet Club music. I can't remember.
Well, he had the Sephiroth theme, I thought.
If that's the case, then Square Enix owns the rights to that.
And they'll let him do anything he wants with it.
I doubt it.
So what I'm saying, if you hear as soon as you hear that, those screeching violins, if they're going to have a crowd there, which I think they are, it'll pop that 50% capacity or whatever they have there.
I feel like tickets for All Out to actually go to it were like starting at $50. I know I saw like an advertisement for it on Instagram like a few days ago. It was like $50 a ticket. But yeah, I'm
hotel.
Yeah. I'm hoping just for the return of peak Kenny. I want to see Paige out from underneath their shadow because he kind of has been ever since like the dissolution of that era of Bullet Club. Paige has been an afterthought.
He almost hang around.
Yeah, to me, he was on equal footing with them all when they were all in Bullet Club, in my opinion. But once Bullet Club kicked them out, air quotes, he just became, a third wheel.
The reason he's a third wheel over here is because he doesn't have a title.
That's right.
There's no EVP around his name.
Nope.
And that, in my opinion, gave that perception of him not being on equal footing. He's along for the ride. He's a hanger-on.
So, moving on. The Mimosa Mayhem match.
You realize you never got my prediction, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were all going with FTR.
Yeah, but I have more to say.
Oh, by all means, continue.
Okay. No. Kenny Omega.
No, I won't continue, you dick.
Kenny Omega is not going to swerve on Paige in the match. It's not happening. Get rid of that. What's going to happen is Omega's going to take the pin. It's going to be a miscommunication. Paige is going to be outside, probably, air quote, injured or held back by FTR or some shit like that. He's going to be outside the ring. He's going to take the pin. He's going to say, "Where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were you?" And then they're going to push each other. And then he's going to V-trigger or beat the shit out of Paige because he's slowly getting unhinged. And then the FTR is going to save Paige. And then that's how it's going to happen. But it's not going to be like a devastating save. It's more of a push, and then Kenny escapes chewing his gum.
Okay. I like it.
That's what I'm going to.
Or the Bucks come out for the save, then you got the Elite versus FTR and Paige.
Yeah, that's fine.
That works too.
And then Marty's girl makes his return, and then it's all of them and Sean Spears.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not happening. They're probably not going to help Skrull do anything until everything's over because,
they're not going to dip their toe for that.
What's their shirt say? Christian AF?
Yeah.
Or Skrull's going to come out in a shirt that says the London Pimp.
Yeah.
There's only one pimp. That's the Tokyo Pimp. Thank you.
Yeah. Until such point as people forget that Marty Skrull had consensual oral with a legal person.
Allegedly legal person.
Air quotes.
Hey,
we don't know if it's true, so
you always have to say allegedly when it comes to these things.
Always.
It doesn't matter if it's obvious. It's allegedly.
Allegedly is your friend.
This is lawyer talk here. Allegedly.
Okay. So now, the Mimosa Mayhem match. Allegedly Chris Jericho's brainchild.
I'm going to be super upset if Orange Cassidy doesn't win. He deserves it. Jericho's already at the top of the mountain, will be. But Cassidy's the new guy. Pass off. Give a rub.
I'm going with Orange as well.
What's the stipulation of this match? How do you win?
You
submission or throwing into a tank of mimosa.
Basically, we all know the finish is going to be someone going into the dip.
It's going to be Jericho.
So you're going Orange, John?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Grayson, Orange?
Yeah.
Alex.
Hager and Jericho go in.
Hager and Jericho?
I say
Wherever
false
Jericho is,
finish.
Hager is sure to follow.
I say Hager goes to throw Cassidy in, like if it's a spear type thing, and somehow Cassidy gets out of the way, and Jericho and Hager both go in.
I got you.
I don't think Jericho goes in by himself.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is, say, it's one of the classic inner circle moves. Ref gets distracted, say by,
It's no DQ,
yeah,
so Hager's going to get involved anyway.
yeah, it's true. But they're still going to play the thing where they draw the ref's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Because they still got to play it off that it could be a technicality to where if Hager knocks him in, then Jericho technically doesn't win because Jericho didn't do the deed. So they're going to have that distraction so that they can play it off like it was a clean win. So Hager goes in, say you've got Cassidy tied up, tied up in the ropes or something. Jericho's right there in front of him, maybe wailing on him, and then he gives the nod to Hager, who charges in, goes for like one of those classic like big man clotheslines or whatever, right? And then some way or another, you've got Cassidy edging out of the way and getting Jericho in the way, and then it's the classic clothesline and double flip over the top.
All out going to be in the stadium, or is it going to be at Daly's place?
I'd say they're probably
Daly's
at
place.
Daly's, yeah.
Okay, so that means the pool in the stadium ain't going to be in play then. I was thinking they'd use the stadium pool as the mimosa pool.
They could, but setting up a ring up there in that upper balcony area would be a little tricky.
They never said that the tank needed to be near the ring. So it could, maybe. That would give them a reason to use the whole arena.
It's true, but that honestly, since there's still one more match after that, that would kind of kill the momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to have to be next to the ring. It's going to be something quasi-impressive. I almost expect it to be like a fucking above-ground swimming pool full of mimosa. Not like the inflatable kind, but like the 3.5, 4 foot deep kind.
It's going to be clear plexiglass, so you can see whoever goes in, when they go in. Kind of like a dunk tank almost, without said dunking mechanism.
Yep. Are we all in agreement with Orange, or Alex, you on the fence?
I'm saying Orange gets it by the Hager miss.
Sounds good to me. I want Orange to get a rub, even though his character's like gimmick is so damn silly. He's fucking made it work.
Yeah, he has.
And I dig it. I do.
And
now,
it's his gimmick. It was the same thing he was doing on the Independents. It's not like
I know, but he's made it work in the mainstream. It's grown.
I don't really care for it personally, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't like his work. I don't like his work as far as his punches look terrible. I really wasn't impressed in the first match with Jericho, but that's me.
That's fine. You can be wrong.
There he is.
Welcome to the show, Weatherman. They say that to me all the time.
Well, I think you just mean me, and you're wrong a lot.
Didn't I beat you last
he
week
has
in
pulled me
production?
into the wrong pool so many times.
Didn't I have the most correct predictions last week, though?
Last week,
SummerSlam, you had 8, I had 7, but I got all of NXT. I was the only one?
yeah, last week. This week, this week we were all the exact same for yeah,
4 and 2 or something like that.
it's like we got everything that we knew about right, except for the triple threat. That's the only one we got wrong.
Oh my god. I probably missed it when you guys talked about that. I won't go back to it, but I have thoughts.
Yeah. we expressed our thoughts on it too. Now the big match of the night: Mox and MJF.
Mox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want MJF to win. I want MJF to be the world champion, but I don't think this is the time.
That's what I've been saying, but no. Last week, John's like, "No, MJF's going to win. It's time for MJF to win the belt." I was like, "No, it's not."
No, I agree. I would like to see MJF win, but yeah, it's too soon, and they've still been teasing the Wardlow feud. I think this is where the Wardlow feud takes off. So, in order to do that, you don't want the belt there because Wardlow hasn't really done anything to warrant being around the belt. Really?
Couple dark matches.
So, like, Moxley will win, but it'll be through interference and MJF and Wardlow having a miscommunication. And then it continues on. So MJF does his feud with Wardlow after that. They may hash it out and then kind of have like a rematch and that happens again and then it blows up. It depends on how they want to do it. But ultimately, it's going to come down to an MJF Wardlow feud, and then over time, MJF will come back into the title picture, and then he'll either get it then, or it'll be the third time's the charm type deal. But he's what, like 20, like early 20s still? He doesn't.
Yeah, 23, 24.
He doesn't need the belt yet. There's no reason to put it on there. He's already selling merch and making money, so there's not really a point. And really, we haven't got to enjoy Moxley's reign because there's no crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So just let him keep rolling with it. It's fine. Homeboy deserves it.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
He's
So
doing
we're all
some of the
going
best
Mox?
work ever.
I know at least 3 of us are. Weatherman? Thoughts?
How can I put this? I don't think it's the right time for the Wardlow turn.
Okay.
It's been the right time. You are completely wrong. Go ahead.
Wardlow,
Oh my god. Okay.
they have misused Wardlow so much in this. Number one, Mox should have never got his hands on MJF. Wardlow should have been there to stop him every time, and MJF jumping behind him going, ha ha ha, you can't get to me, ha 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 ha. But they didn't do that.
That is true. That is one thing that I'm surprised about for Wardlow being
Because
his bodyguard.
Wardlow, to me, Wardlow is MJF's Big Bubba Rogers.
Yep.
He should have never been touched. MJF should never went in the pool by the Bucks. He should have never been. He should have been just been able to sit there, run his mouth, piss everybody off with no consequences whatsoever, because his big bodyguard's always there to back him up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happened. But it was MJF's poor planning and inability to have forethought into knowing Moxley would come in through the regular ramp area than the crowd. What you're referencing is he sent Wardlow, so Wardlow did exactly what he was supposed to do, and MJF paid the price for a poor calculated attack.
If they're going to do the Wardlow MJF feud, it's actually going to start tomorrow night. If that's the route they're going to go, they would have a match tomorrow between Mox and Wardlow to kind of soften him up before the pay-per-view. We've seen it in the past. Absolutely. This is classic 80s WWE storyline, man. Before you go against the guy, you go against his
They've
bodyguard.
already planted the seeds. The seeds have already been planted. Every time they're on screen together, you see the eye roll or the like, what the fuck am I doing with this guy from Wardlow? It's already there. It's not doing anything other than just going on. Like, it's already done. Like, that's why this is the time to just go ahead and do it. So when their biggest pay-per-views, just go ahead and get it out of the way, and then set their feud to finish at the next pay-per-view. It's not. It's already
ending this match. It'll be a fuzzy finish, not to kill MJF's heat. I figure it'll be Wardlow hits MJF with the ring, Moxley hits his finisher, and it's over. And it'll probably be the split, even though I don't want it to be. I'd rather them stay together on into next year, but I'm not going to get that. So it's going to be Moxley. It's going to be a fuzzy finish.
And again, that's
people.
as you
people
mentioned.
go happy.
as you just mentioned, he can't use his finisher. So the only way
He's
really
going to debut a new
logical-
finisher, or he's going to bring an old one back.
Well, I was gonna say, in the logic sense, that's why the MJF Wardlow turn happens. It causes the issue, and then one of them gets hit with something, and that lets Moxley get the roll up. And then whenever shit goes down, he then drops a paradigm shift to send the crowd home happy.
After the match is over, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that they worded it the way they did kind of pissed me off, because they said the paradigm shift or the double arm DDT. If they didn't put in the double arm DDT portion, have Mox hit it at the end, but call it the Death Rider.
There it is.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is he's like, I didn't do the paradigm, I did the Death Rider, and
That'd be
that
awesome.
means he just gets more vertical lift.
Yeah. That's the difference between a suplex and a brain buster. I mean, practically.
Or he just does a pedigree.
Or he does a pedigree.
No, he'll do a curb stomp or a spear,
No.
I was in Roman Reigns.
maybe a Superman punch.
No.
or two.
He resurrects the Scorpion Death Drop.
Done.
I can't think of the last person I've seen do that. I really can't.
The Scorpion Death Drop?
Yeah.
Yeah, the reverse DDT.
Wasn't it Edge?
No, he has the execution. I thought that was like the backwards brain buster type deal where he grabs your head and throws it down.
Dustin has the curtain call, which is similar, but I think he does like a cut with the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
had,
anyone who does just a straight up reverse DDT.
Devon Dudley did something similar when he had his singles run as Deacon Dudley.
Oh, my brother, testify.
Mm-hmm.
But if he could do something like that, say he does basically the paradigm shift, but it's reversed. It's no longer a double arm DDT; it's a double arm reverse DDT. So, say he crosses the arms over the chest, and the one he hooks over the face goes up through the armpit and holds the right arm, and then his right arm's holding the left, and he just drops it back.
Just do an RKO and be done with it.
Out of nowhere.
He does the double arm, lifts him up, and then switches to a regular DDT. Done. You get mad lift, you get a cool flashy move, but it's just a DDT.
He pops him up into a power bomb and calls it a day.
He does a Pearl River plunge.
Oh!
Mixed with a Dominator.
Damn.
Pearl River Nature.
I think I built that move on one of the WWE games a couple years ago.
I remember my move was just like, he just pretty much jumped and did like a 1080 flip.
Just thinking the
And then I
plunge
think he
gets
finished with a leg
injury.
drop.
Just thinking about the plunge gives you an injury.
Oh, Ahmed.
Moxley resurrects the Kaniku Buster.
Yeah, there we go. Break someone else's spine.
Yeah, he does. No
Hey,
one,
that MJF.
no
you
one will
really
do
need
a
that
true
neck
Muscle
brace.
Buster ever again. Nobody. The Muscle Buster is banned for life.
The Von Erich Hall.
Well,
Oh, well, you've already got that. That's the EVD claw.
Lance Archer.
Yeah, that's right.
I was gonna say, luckily, Kid Muscle had a second finisher, which was the headbutt.
Oh yeah.
So he could dip into that repertoire. Just saying.
The Tongan Death Grip.
Tongan Death Grip. Ooh. Heart Punch. There it is.
Just do
There we
Minoru
go.
Suzuki's finisher.
The Gotch style pile driver.
Yeah, that's it. Because he already didn't he do a pile driver on him once, or was am I thinking something else? I'm thinking
Foley's pile driver.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's do the Owen Hart Stone Cold Killer pile driver.
Oh
Ooh.
god.
Ooh.
If we're gonna go that route,
In Owen's defense, he's done that before on Brett.
yeah, it's true. It's true. It was just a total fluke. That's all it was. I personally think, to bring it back around, I think that outside of him hitting the Death Rider after the match, or the paradigm shift as it's known here, I think he's going to debut a new finisher, an extra weapon in the arsenal that he hasn't really shown to anyone. And by new, I mean new to AEW. It could be a brand new move. I don't know what the fuck his finish was when he was Dean Ambrose in WWE.
It was the Death Rider. It was the same move.
And it wasn't the double arm DDT?
Yeah.
It was. They called
the
it
Dirty
Dirty
Deeds.
Deeds.
Okay, I wasn't 100%.
I don't know about that, man. Just because they already did that. They already did the, ooh, I got a new move.
With who?
Jericho with the Judas effect.
Jericho makes up a new move every time he changes personas.
True.
Yeah, still, but
the
that
walls of
doesn't-
Jericho and the ain't the difference between the walls of Jericho and the Lion Tamer the placement of the knee.
Yeah, it's one's high angle, one's not.
Yeah, Lion Tamer is the one with the knee in the back. The Walls of Jericho is a Boston Crab.
Yeah. It's like one has the high angle bridge with the knee, the other one's just a really, really, really harsh bridge.
Fucking Lion Tamer is a million times better.
Oh, I know. It's 1,000 times better.
Mhm.
The Lion Salt was great, but he still breaks that out rarely. The Code Breaker, still good. What was he doing? What was his finish as the Painmaker? It was something different.
Oh, that was Judas Effect.
Now, Judas Effect came after Painmaker.
I
Judas
don't think
Effect
so.
real
Yeah,
recent.
he was still just doing the Walls of Jericho.
Was he? Okay, I could have sworn he
The
had
Walls
to
of
do...
Jericho and Codebreaker, and then Lion Salt was never a finisher. That's a signature move.
Yeah.
It was always the Walls of Jericho, and then when he came back to WWE that one time, he did the Codebreaker, and now he debuted that. It wasn't like every character changed.
Well, when he came into WWE, the Lion Tamer was the Walls of Jericho, and then he came with the two versions of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since he had the two versions, that's why they differentiated the names now. To, I guess, avoid confusion.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they were the same move. I still feel like he'll drop either a new finish or...
It'll probably be a submission or some shit.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Is
Anaconda Vice.
submission
There you go.
holds.
CM
Let-
favorite.
Let's
CM
just
Punk
go
ain't
with...
using it.
Let's just go with a Minoru Suzuki rear naked choke until he flops on the deck like a fish.
That's what I was going to say. It'd just be, he'd just probably choke him out like he did Darby Allin. Done.
Yeah. Put his ass to sleep. And then just roll out. Be like, alright, I'm done. Mox out.
Peace.
Speaking of put yourself to sleep, I gotta be up at work at 5:30.
Man,
All right.
sounds about on that
Anything
note.
else? Yeah, anything else? Well, want to thank everyone for listening to Post Wrestling Podcast. We want to thank our special guest, Alex the Weatherman. Alex Weatherman, whatever. What do
His
you
last
go
name is
by?
Weatherman.
No, I know that, but I mean, because you called him Alex a couple times on the show. I've been calling him Weatherman. What do you prefer?
Nicolas Cage.
Outstanding,
Alex Wright.
Nicolas Cage. Alex Wright.
I've also been known as the forecaster of disaster.
Oh,
Old Jim
there you
Brown.
go.
the forecaster of disaster, Alex Weatherman. Ooh, that has a good ring to it. Goddamn.
Join us again next week where we talk more shit about more wrestling stuff and brothers of discussion. You got anything before we sign off?
First, big thanks to Falcon and the Polar for doing all our editing and making us sound good and being a boys.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely try to get Chapel on here for the John I'm Sorry show.
Yeah, we need to do that. I need to be sober with that man because he had some great stories and I fucked that up.
And then, the other thing is, here starting back probably next week, we're gonna have to we'll try to get these episodes shorter again. Summer break is officially over for myself. So,
Well, you know, I'm only here once a year, so it has to go a little long. I had a lot to say.
we'll get you back more, buddy. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely get you back. You just let me know anytime you want to jump on, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, you said that last time.
No, you. See,
Got him. So, yeah, but outside of that, I guess, if anyone didn't know, the David Arquette documentary, You Cannot Kill David Arquette, has came out. I own it. I just have not watched it yet. I bought it. Hopefully it is really good. Bill and Ted 3 is really good. Outside of that, eat steaks and chew pills that make you have a boner.
the advertisement's out. Post the post. Be gone.
Out. Mic drop.
And give me some of them pills.